Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very special Geek First episode. I am the cyberpunk Trask now.
Ooh.
Nice. I'm Adam Hartcaster, Dylan Muss.
I am your friendly neighborhood
Cool guy over here
caster.
flings the fucking device.
I am the Ragnarok.
No, you messed
Taylor
it all up.
Field.
You're supposed to say, first of all, you're supposed to say Ragnarokin, right?
I'm not there yet until the game's announced.
And you also
true.
look like in Scary Movie 2, which we should do fucking Scary Movie.
Yeah, there you go.
We
I
joke
don't know, man. I watched one recently and it was just
Scary
it made
Movie
me
2 would be
sick to
good.
my stomach.
Just
how
give it a
bad
little
that
bit of
movie is.
that.
That's why with the little hand, because we refer back to it so much. That one point where the guy in the wheelchair, when he gives himself a blowjob, when he comes back up and his glasses are messed up, that was your glasses right there, because you're messed
Dude,
like,
what?
I'm Ragnarok.
Which one is it where the first 5 minutes is just projectile vomiting? Like,
That's two.
fuck
yeah.
that movie. It's so no, it didn't age well. But maybe it'd be fun. I don't know. Anyway,
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Welcome to 2020. We're here to talk about video games for the very first time. We're going to be talking about the entire new year coming up. Go back and check out everything we've done. We did a Best of the Video Games podcast for the decade. We did a Golden Geeks for the decade. We just reviewed You a few days ago, I lost entire track of time. Taylor did not review The Grudge
Fuck no.
because
Is it
he hates
bad?
that movie.
Oh, I wasted my money going.
I
to
saw
see
that it has one of the lowest rated scores.
It
on
does.
some
It has an
websites.
F on Cinema Score, which is very rare to get.
Yeah.
I was very excited for this movie, but
was
yeah,
it a
just-
direct remake or was it a sequel?
No, you could look at it as like a sequel. It was like
It's its own thing. Like
it's
doesn't
its
have
own
anything.
thing,
Yeah,
but
you-
it takes like the origins and it like extends it and carried it over into a new story. In this,
Save your whole thing because on the 2020 preview, you can quickly talk about when it comes up,
Okay,
which is
I
already
will.
out. But so we got lots of content. Do check that all out. The rest of the month, we're going to be dropping lots of stuff. When this drops January 10th, you're going to get the whole 2020 reveal. These guys have seen the schedule. We're going to be dropping hints. You're going to want to go to YouTube, and then it'll drop there. And then I think we'll probably do like a quick 10, 15-minute cast that will drop on the feed explaining what's going on for the people that don't.
The way you said that, it sounds like people should just go to YouTube and just wait. Just
They
wait for it
should
to
all
pop
day.
up.
The 10th, just keep refreshing.
me a
It'll be there.
5.
Or that's why you go subscribe, because if you subscribe, the second that video comes
True.
up, boom, it's there, and you know
Don't forget
what's
to
happening.
turn on those notifications.
Yeah,
as
the
well.
bell, the whole deal. That's what you want, because we got lots of good stuff. We got an entire thick schedule coming 2020. So you guys got anything else to say before Dylan takes off into 2020 video game world? Oh no, Dylan.
I got something I want to say.
the polls are coming back in
So-
February.
Well, the polls will come back. Yeah, we got some interesting ones that are lined up possibly, but.
Possibly.
I just want to say, we had like a good hefty amount of listens to our Rise of Skywalker review, and
Pretty hefty.
the numbers aren't adding up. I just want to say, if each one of these people you like what we do, just go and like our social media. Check us out on what we do, because there's a
Wow.
few thousand, and like. We know you're out there. We know you like what we do, and just we
First
do
of all,
this for you.
more than a few thousand. Second of all, I do not back up that statement because Taylor's trying to strong arm you into dropping reviews. I say, hey, drop a review, like our Facebook Twitter. You don't have to do it, but Taylor's like, something's not adding up. Where are you? You're back. Like, don't do that whole you owe us thing. We're thankful.
no, it's
for
not. It's not that you always think.
We're thankful
like-
that you're just here to be
It's
honest.
like, if it's an easy thing, just drop a like. It's super casual.
Taylor's
super
worried because
easygoing.
there's been no polls, so the Facebook's been dry.
What if someone
lately.
has no social media whatsoever? What do they do then?
That's
Taylor?
true.
no
Greg
social
doesn't-
media.
of course,
Just-
Greg
I
doesn't
want
have
you to
Facebook.
write me a letter. Just write me an
Write
old-fashioned
Taylor
letter.
a letter.
And
There's
I'll
no
put it up
address
our
on
wall.
there.
No,
So
his
how they
PO
gonna get
box
it?
is in the description below.
We're gonna do that today. Gertie would send you some stuff.
Send him your hair.
Anything else? Foreplay over.
Thanks, Taylor, for that addition. Are we good?
Dylan, take us
Sure.
away.
So yeah, I've compiled a list of all the 2020 games that are announced. Some that don't have a date but might be coming out. I just kind of got it all.
Mhm.
I didn't, and by all I mean I did skip some stuff that I don't think is relevant or maybe we have nothing to say about. So I tried to just make this the things that are most relevant to us and our audience. So let's get right into it. January, there's not a whole lot. I'm gonna be
No.
honest with you,
It's
but
barren.
there's one
Dry
here.
month.
I don't even know if anyone cares about this game, but a new Dragon Ball Z game called Dragon Ball Z Kakarot's coming out.
Kakarot, yeah.
Can you give us a breakdown? What is this game?
So this game, it looks like it's a role-playing game, but you follow like the characters that are already there. So it's not like you're making a new character, to my understanding. I could be wrong there.
Sounds like he plays Goku and you follow
yeah,
his story or
that's
something.
what I would imagine, because that's his Saiyan name, Kakarot. I don't know
Okay,
if people
right.
knew that.
I did not know.
Yeah, so I don't know. It looked cool. Like the only real gameplay I saw was what they showed at E3, I think, unless
Yeah.
they had a follow-up video, which is the one I
It's
saw.
probably
But
been a
it looked
trailer.
pretty cool. Like the graphics look amazing. But I don't know. It just nowadays I'm a little bit more picky when I like drop drop money on
80
my
bones.
hard-earned cash on video games these days. But I'll definitely be following it, and I don't know if it reviews really well, and I have some friends that play it, and they say it's awesome. Maybe I'll check out like a sale or something. But I can't see myself getting it like, I don't know, day one. I don't know. I've had other like Dragon Ball games in the past that have scratched that like Dragon Ball itch that I wanted. So I don't know. It's cool that they keep releasing these games, and they seem to be getting better because Fighter Z, that one was really well received.
Really popular.
There's actually a pretty good like esports scene. I don't know if it's that popular, but like just seeing
They
some
did a
pros
summit
play it.
for it as
Yeah,
well,
it's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know if this game, like, it doesn't look like it's gonna be competitive or anything. It's just like a story mode.
I saw there's like you like cook meals and stuff too.
Yeah.
So I guess it
looks pretty.
it's
like,
got a lot more to it than
some
just
cool
combat.
features that they've never
Yeah.
had before. So I hope it does well because
Mhm.
I'm always happy to see Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that's coming out the 16th. So that's kind of the first
Yeah.
release of this year. Well, like, there's other stuff in January. Most January is like some DLCs coming out.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, I don't know what any of these games are
Yeah.
except for DBZ. So that leads us right into February. On February 4th is the Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance. So I brought
There's a video game for that.
Yeah, there is a video game.
That's a
companion.
Netflix show, right?
I wrote this because you guys probably maybe remember this from the Nintendo conference at E3.
I do.
I wrote this
now.
down because Taylor is raving about this TV show on Netflix. So, do you remember the game? / are you interested in the game?
Yeah, the game looked more like it was like an RTS style game.
Kind of like Fire Emblem or Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, and like the Netflix show was absolutely fantastic, and it's a prequel to the original movie that came out like decades ago.
Okay.
Check out his
And
review.
It's just the I got a review up for it. It's just a fantastic series, and I was very excited just to kind of explore the world a little bit more and get to see the play this game and be a little bit more immersed. I don't know, is it like a full price game or? Cause
I was gonna say, are you actually gonna be playing it though?
I actually do want to play it, but I don't want to pay $80 because I don't feel like it's a game worth that
Yeah.
much. I'm hoping Game Pass.
What's the
maybe.
game called? Like the full title?
It's called the Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance.
Okay.
That's the same name as the show, I believe. So
Yeah.
you'll have to type in like the game because
Yeah.
obviously that's a little bit more popular.
Let's see if Best Buy has like a placeholder.
Yeah, I think it's.
Price.
I believe it's coming to it's obviously coming to Switch because it was in the Nintendo thing, but I think it's also coming to Xbox and
Windows
PlayStation.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
so
it'll come on
everything.
Games Pass.
I'm hoping.
I
it
did try to
does.
also mark these with exclusives as well, so
Oh,
I
okay.
will try and mention that if it is relevant.
Right now.
But yeah, I don't know price point. I mean, I like those kind of strategy games, but I don't know that I respect the artistry that goes into making those kind of like puppets and like obviously there's just a lot more work that goes on than just like simply doing some CGI for. I shouldn't say simply, but doing CGI. But I don't know if this game's gonna do it for me personally.
Yeah, I'm not really
Can't
finding
find
a
anything.
price for it. No.
Very under the radar game. That's coming out on the 4th. Next up is on February 11th. This is kind of the first big console exclusive of the year. Is Ori and the Will of the Wisp. It's first Xbox exclusive. Also, when I say that, obviously that's like now both Xbox and
PC.
on their Microsoft like PC store. So that's for all the Xbox ones. But Taylor, I'm guessing I don't think you've played the other Ori, but what do you think about this one as your first big exclusive for your console?
I thought that this Ori game came out a few years ago, or
This
it
is a
already
sequel.
came out. Oh, it's a sequel.
Yeah,
But they
Okay.
have
the first
have
one
been
was Ori
pimping-
and the Blind Forest. This is Ori and the Will of the Wisp.
They have been
Mm.
pimping it like the past 3 E3,
Yeah.
so it's felt like a long time being like, oh, this game's still not out yet. So
Yeah. No, it looks like a beautiful game. I've never played them, but
Yeah.
there's definitely a fan base for it, so I'm happy for those people.
Yeah. All right, February 14th. Who are you watching there, Travis?
I'm trying to
got
still
some
Age
some
of-
sports on
Age
your
of
screen there?
maybe I'm keeping track of the score.
February 14th is technically the full release date for Dreams, PlayStation 4 exclusive.
Oh
that
boy.
you guys may remember. This is from the can't remember the name of the studio, but the guys who make Little Big Planet. This is what
Yeah.
they've been pimping for so long. It's essentially a game where people can make games.
The beta was supposed to be. I know there's a beta.
It's out right now. People
but
have it.
the original beta was supposed to be out 3 years ago. This
Right.
game has been. I think even before we started the podcast was already like it's coming.
yeah.
I think it's just if you like. I think if you like that type of game. Delay. I know people say delays help, but this has been delayed so many times it went out of my brain. It
Right.
looked cool when we saw
People
some
have made
stuff.
some phenomenal looking games
Yeah.
in that game.
But for me, it's just I think you'll hear this repetitive a lot from me, but it's just the time frame in some games, and there's a lot of stuff coming out. I probably wouldn't have touched this game to be honest, but I think just even sales wise, I'm interested to see how it does. 'Cause
Yeah.
I want to see what the market's there for when you actually have to pay. I don't know if it's going to be full price. I don't think they should make it full price, but I bet they're gonna. And
Yeah.
I don't. I don't think it's going to do well, so that's unfortunate because I just think it has a history of kind of it's kind of a meme, like Dreams is never coming out, So I wish them the best, but I won't be playing it just because there's other games coming up in the next little bit he's going to read that are much more impactful.
Dreams is such an interesting one because it has just been in like kind of development hell, or like it's gone silent for a while, and I feel like in the last few months it's kind of been popping off a bit more, and I've heard a lot of like critical acclaim for some of these games that people are making because the tools are so vast. So I think it could be one of those games that's like just insane value, right? Like you pay, let's say you even pay the full price, but you could make it like so many great games out of that, and they could be like multiple hours long. Who knows? I just don't think I have the time right now to like invest in building like these games out for myself on like the creation end of it. And if I did, I'd probably screw around in Game Maker and actually try and develop something of my own, I guess. So I think that's where Dreams is in this tricky thing. And I think even then, like, it might be really fun if you want to just sample a bunch of games, just try a bunch of ideas. But then again, we also have so many different streaming services right now, right? Where I'd rather just sign up for Game Pass for a month. You'd pay $10, you'd get to play a bunch of games. And so it's kind of like the same thing.
Yeah.
And maybe even like probably even more because there is obviously going to be limitations for Dreams. But it's interesting that it'll finally be coming out because I feel like now that it's officially released, that's when you'll start hearing, because everyone will have their access to it. I don't know how they had the beta and alphas, whatever.
Yeah,
before,
I never tried
but
it.
It sounded like it was limited in some regard. Not anyone could get in, or maybe there was like a price to get in. I'm not too sure. But.
Yeah, I am interested in seeing how it does because I feel like, I don't know, those type of games, whether you compare it to Little Big Planet or something, I feel like it's not necessarily that, like, we're out of that era of that game because, I don't know, like, when did Little Big Planet 3 came? That was the last one, right? Little Big Planet 3? And that was on PS4.
There was one on PS4 that came
free.
out, I want to say within the year of launch.
It was on it was on the one of the lineups 1 month.
Oh, I think I did pick it up and played it a little bit. And, like, I don't know, I remember playing it like on PS4 when it came out, and I just didn't have the same magic towards it like I had with the first game, like the first time I had touched it. So I feel like, I don't know, it might be a bold thing to say, but like I feel like maybe it should have came out like shortly after when those Little Big Planet games were coming out.
Yeah,
I don't know, just a weird.
It's such an ambitious project, right?
Yeah, and like you said, like with Games Pass, like the hook on this game is you get so many different games out of it. I imagine you'd be able to download other people's games that they make, sort of like a Super Mario Maker.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of pricing scheme is in there. Like I don't know if you have to pay for individual games.
Right.
I would doubt it. But
Yeah, I don't think so.
But
they better not.
But like you mentioned, like we're in this era now of like streaming with Game Pass or PlayStation Now.
Yeah, PS Now is pretty legit.
Yeah,
now,
so like in that regard, exactly what you said, you could pay $10 and get all these other games, opposed to paying, I don't know, $80 to $90 on a game when, I don't know, these other games that you could play, they all have.
Yeah, and like,
they will be different, but
and like the lasting value of Dreams is so dependent on one. I mean, like dev support if they have the financials to like keep putting in more features in the game, but also just like the community, right? And like how much they're gonna make games. Are they gonna make games for years to come, or are they gonna screw around with it for 6 months and then kind of move on? In which case, a Game Pass is gonna have new games every month for as long as Microsoft is doing games.
Yeah,
so.
I am intrigued on how it does, and just seeing like some Twitch streams about some games that people.
I'd love
making.
to see a highlight. Like, these are the 10 best games in Dreams. Just watch
totally.
a video on that.
So I definitely will be following that, but I can't see myself buying it personally.
Yeah. All right, next up. So this is actually something I should have said before, but games get pushed back all the time. Games get delayed. And sometimes you'll Google a release date for a game, and then that's not even true if you double check it to another source. So some of these inherently games will get pushed back, or the date will change or something, or I might have just wrote it down wrong. So take this with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And this one is why I'm saying this, because on some sources I saw that this game is supposed to be coming out February 25th, but then other sources said it's delayed, but overall it's just been very quiet. But that is Gods and Monsters. I don't know if you guys remember this game from the Ubisoft conference. This is from the devs that made Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This is their next game. It kind of looked a bit like Breath of the Wild, or it's kind of just this little avatar character fighting some monsters. So it's supposed to come out February 25th, which is insane to me. But then I saw from another source that it did get delayed, but doesn't have like a set date. So I highly doubt this is coming out in February. But maybe it's coming out this year. I don't know. What do you think about this game, Taylor, as someone who's played their most recent game?
We didn't get to really see any gameplay when they revealed it.
That's why I'm like, how is this game coming out in February?
Yeah, it was just like, it looked more like footage and cinematics of like in-game visuals. And I mean, world building wise, like it looked gorgeous and very colorful. And I was very excited to see, where they're going to go with this. But Yeah, without any gameplay, it's hard to really go off of anything. Like, what is the mechanics? Like, how does it feel? Like, what does it really look like? But it looks, from what they showed, pretty beautiful. And yeah, February, I'm inclined to say it'll probably be held back a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So I just want to see some gameplay.
I feel like it'll probably come out this year. Like they'll probably
Yeah.
want it out before the new consoles. So I have to imagine it's coming out this year. but-
Yeah, I would think so.
I don't remember this game for the life of me.
No,
I'm
I mean,
trying
When
to-
you see a trailer, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, I recall." There's a few of these on here where, "Oh yeah, I remember that from E3," but I had to Google it. So
Yeah, I kind of remember, but clearly, I Ubisoft is always. I've described it this way. It's always like whether you're a man or woman, it's that cute person at work that you kind of think about asking out, but you're like, I'm not fully interested in them. That's always Ubisoft. I'd like to play that game, and then something else comes up. You're like, nah, I won't play
But
Watch
then
Dogs.
if you do ask them out, it's a great experience.
I've heard mixed things.
Uh,
I've heard mixed things.
As a guy who ended up picking up Assassin's Creed Origins and didn't like it that much, I don't know. I'm not going to agree with that statement.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, Taylor. I
Have your
tried.
way with
I
it,
tried. I spent
and
$20
don't go
on the
back
game.
to it.
I tried, but
There you
it
go.
just didn't do it for me.
You had your way with and didn't go back to it. What are you even talking about?
I climbed a giant ass pyramid and I was like, I'm not going to play this.
I did it.
At the very end of February, on the 28th, is the official release of Iron Man VR. I know we probably won't be playing this. None of us have
No.
VR, but
Maybe Jessica will. She'll invite us over. She
Oh,
was Batman
true.
VR.
we
so
should. that'd be
I've
a
never
fun-
played it.
That'd be a fun Geekverse video.
Yeah,
but, that'll be fun. That's cool.
I'm excited.
coming out.
I hope it's a hit because it's nice to get more superhero games out there. But
Mhm.
yeah, I've not jumped
Yeah.
in the VR because VR is still, other than a few things, it's still in this Iron Man game looks very still early on. It doesn't just look so fluid. So yeah, I
Yeah.
would.
It didn't take off like it was.
Yeah, I'd like to try it, but I'm
Nice
not
to see.
gonna be dropping $300 to get this in this console or system.
This is VR exclusively for PlayStation,
I
or is
believe
this
so,
going to be
yep. I
available for
think so.
VR on like PC as
I
well?
believe this one's PSVR,
Okay.
which I think you can do on PC.
Yeah,
like, I
well,
think
like
there's like homebrew ways to have that work.
Homebrew.
yeah,
with
Ruben
your-
kind of Shanghai's his way
Ruban.
into that.
Shanghai.
Yeah.
Ruban.
But like there's a lot of VR games like I enjoy, and I'd love to try this Iron Man one. But like when I want to go play VR, I just go to like the VR rooms they have in town and play
Play some
whatever.
Get all
they
those
Saber.
have.
germs.
Just play some
Yeah.
Beat Saber for
So many
hours.
germs.
Beat Saber, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to play Beat Saber, and then he just locks the door. And
Yeah, like as much as I think it'll take a lot more for me to eventually invest in VR, just because it is expensive, especially with new consoles on the horizon. But I want there to be more big VR games. And I don't know if this one's going to be a big game necessarily, but I still think anything that could help legitimize the platform and
Yeah.
and help bring more life to it and bring
Grow.
some more like notable devs over there to make some games, make some cool games, make some cool experiences even. Because obviously we have Batman VR, people really like that. So I don't know if this is kind of on the scope with that, where Batman VR was a very small game, but people still liked
yeah.
it because you feel like Batman.
I bet it'll be a bit bigger, but I think it'll be pretty. From the looks of the game, just looks pretty. You're in this location. You're doing a
Looks
few
pretty
Iron Man
basic.
things. It's
Yeah.
nothing like when they put out like Fallout VR, right? Obviously that was made for VR, but still it's a full game in VR. This looks
Yeah.
like the hours. I could see it being a 6 to 10 hour kind of experience, you
Mhm,
know.
mhm.
So
Yeah, I hope it does well, just for everything that you said, pretty much, like with the success of Batman VR, and then hopefully, I
Mhm.
don't know, bringing in more devs to develop these badass superhero VR games. But
Yeah.
personally, I just feel like VR is just in a weird place right now where it's not fully consumer ready. Like when you play it, it's like you're playing PS1 or something. Like
oh,
or here, maybe PS2. Maybe
PS1.
I'm thinking back a little
shot
too
to
much.
the heart.
But like obviously it's not next gen graphics. It's
Yeah.
cool that you're in the game, but it's not next gen. So it's
And
a
it's
cool thing
always-
to experience.
It is
but
hard to show that in a trailer too, right?
Oh,
yeah.
You can't show what the game you can't show what it feels like to play that
no,
game.
totally. But I don't know. We'll see how it does.
Yeah.
Hear that? PS1 graphics, VR
PS1.
devs,
VR.
VR,
It's
you-
not there yet. It's
you
not there
VR
yet.
devs making PS1 games over here.
If I'm spending
Yep.
$400, I want next gen experience,
Fair
and
enough.
unfortunately, it's not there yet.
Yeah.
So
With February out of the way, March is where it gets really bumping, and that's where this chaos for like 3 months straight of just
Yeah.
amazing big games starts. With March 3rd, Final Fantasy VII Remake, which I believe is a PS4 exclusive, actually. Now, one thing to keep in mind with
Is
PS4
it?
exclusive.
Well,
yeah, that's
P-
what I found when I was
well,
Googling
That
stuff.
Final
can't
Fantasy
stay that
15
way.
wasn't a delayed exclusive like for
yeah,
PS4,
well,
and then
that's
it
what I
got
was
moved
gonna
over.
say is like games like Death Stranding, Detroit, like those are going to other platforms
Yeah.
now. Like, well, Death Stranding in the summer this summer, I guess. So, I mean, just because something's a PS4 exclusive doesn't mean it's going to stay there forever,
Yeah.
but at least on launch, I believe it is. So.
Really?
Yeah, where do you guys stand on Final Fantasy VII? Because I never played the original. I've played a couple Final Fantasies. I think just to me, there's so much else coming out in that time frame, and in March, there's a couple other games I'm interested in that I think I'm probably not going to end up getting this one. I feel like for some reason, I would want to go back and play the original. first and
Like Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah, like play the original and see how that goes, and then try the remake after. Especially because this is like not really episodic, but they're doing it in chunks that they're not totally clear on the pricing scheme of how that works. Like if you buy this
Yeah.
game, if you get everything, like
Not a fan
probably
of
not.
that.
It sounds like you're gonna have to buy the sections of it. So where
It-
are you guys stand on this? Are any of you guys buying this
Just to add on, it's a timed exclusive for a year.
for
March
a full year? Okay.
2021 is when it can go to PC and Xbox.
Dang,
So
that's a long time.
Yeah, I've never had too much experience like in Final Fantasy. I feel like if I play them like on like the original PlayStation, I would be just itching for this. I played a little bit of of Final Fantasy 15. And I thought that was really cool, but I found it cool because it was very different from the other ones where it's turn based and like a lot more slower pace. Whereas this one, it's a gorgeous world, it's free roaming, right? And you have your little party. But I don't know. I didn't get too far into Final Fantasy 15. I do want to go back and play it, but for those reasons, I don't see myself getting this year. I don't know if it's like $5 or something.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's years away for it to
Highly
have that
doubt they'll
price.
make that game.
Yeah,
$5.
exactly.
$5.
For the complete edition.
Put it
But
on PS Now. That'd be big.
yeah, I have a couple of buddies that are really into Final Fantasy, and
Yeah.
they're very excited for this game. Especially that trailer. It was such a good trailer that they showed
Yeah.
off at E3. The gameplay looks awesome. Very much like Final Fantasy 15, where it's a lot
Mhm.
more fast paced and
Right.
looks
And
like
it's
you
cool
can
that
actually
you can
switch
switch
your
between it.
characters. Yeah, that's cool.
You can like
Oh,
change,
yeah, yeah,
you can
right.
change between like I
Yeah.
guess real time action
Final
or like more turn based.
Final
stuff,
Fantasy
so.
15 had a similar system like that where you could actually change it whether I think it's like
That's
turn based.
cool.
Yeah.
And like even the most recent Dragon Quest game, which was kind of like a remake, had that same thing too, where you
Oh,
could
yeah.
switch between like the 2D side scroller like way or just like the 3D.
Oh, that's cool.
exploring.
Yeah.
It's cool that games are like honoring the originals in those ways.
No, totally. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll do great because it seems
Oh,
like
yeah.
at
It's
E3
gonna sell like
everyone's
I can't wait
going
to hear
crazy.
people's thoughts
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of the most talked about games. Taylor, you gonna get this in 2021?
I've never really fantasized about it. But,
You've been
Very
waiting for
nice.
that.
maybe not. I don't think I will.
Maybe not.
It's just not my
Yeah.
cup of tea.
Yeah, I played this along with Kingdom Hearts a lot when I was younger because I was a PS1 and PS2 guy. But they're so far in the past for me that this is just again a matter of circumstances. The gameplay looks great, the visuals look great, the worlds. That's what Final Fantasy is known for. Like obviously the gameplay, but it's a rich world. You have very unique characters, so it checks.
Beautiful fucking
Yeah,
game.
it checks all the boxes for me. It's just what Dylan's about to talk about coming up here. It just falls to the wayside. It's kind of exactly why I'm still bummed. I've still haven't played Resident Evil 2 Remake. And I was a bigger Resident Evil fan than I was of Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts, but it's just because it was a remake, like, I'm not sure how it's going to go. And then it's that after hype of everyone's talking about, oh, it's great. And you're like, oh, I missed out on it. But then it's like, well, this game's out. So this is probably going to be my Resident Evil 2, where it's like, I really want to play it. I'm excited for it, but it's going to go on the back burner because it's still... I'm excited for it, but like 5 other things are on top of it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
games cost $80 to $100, so you got to make
Not cheap,
sacrifices.
especially with consoles.
Oh,
around
yeah.
the corner.
And then plus, like obviously we'll talk about November, but there's a big
Yeah.
purchase I'm gonna have to make this year
Yeah,
November. So
exactly.
yeah,
All right, next up. So this one is delayed. It's delayed to some other time in spring and nondescript time, but we'll talk about it now. This was its original release date of Watch Dogs Legion sometime
Oh,
in March.
yeah.
We don't know when it's coming out. They've just said, as far as I'm concerned, right? It's just like spring. We pushed it back.
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of all they
to be
said.
announced.
because it was
Yeah.
originally supposed to be was it
The 3rd.
2019
Yeah,
or
it was March 6th of 2020.
2020,
Yeah.
and then now it's just spring something, right?
Yeah, they just
Okay.
had to push it back a bit because of I don't know, Ghost Recon. There was a whole thing where they kind of just pushed
Yeah.
Ubisoft pushed back all their games. So
They're putting resources towards the fucking Good and Beyond Evil, whatever that is.
that, I
too.
do have that written somewhere.
When it's like
so.
we need people. This game looks lots of
We
fun.
need
It's this that trailer really sold all of us. This is a game that I'm mad that Taylor doesn't have PS4 because I would definitely want to borrow and make some sort of trade. I would really like to play it again. Just games are coming up, but the idea I know Dylan's hinted toward this. The idea is great. It's all about the execution, right? So if that execution hits and everyone talks about it's flawless, I might have to jump on it. Me and Kirklin have talked about this. I bought Watch Dogs 2. Haven't touched it for a single second. Not even. It's
Am I
sitting
the only
in.
one who's played it amongst all you
I
guys?
played
Yeah.
the intro mission and I loved
Oh
it, but
my
I
We
haven't
own
played
it, but yeah, I got that
exactly.
and Doom took me away, and then all these games come out. So
took me
I
away.
even liked Watch Dogs 1. I think lots of people just give it shit because it wasn't the greatest game of this generation that people were really hoping for.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed my time with it. Watch Dogs 2 looks fun, but it's just, again, like that, that person at work that you're like, oh, maybe I'll ask if I have a rainy day. But I want this game to work the way it shows. Will it? I don't know. So I'm
Yeah.
excited.
I think for me, yeah, just pretty much what Travis said. Like, I love the idea of this game, but I have to wait until people have played it and can confirm that it's actually as groundbreaking, as interesting as it sounds.
And it's not just a gimmick,
Exactly. Like, I'd want it to really be a meaningful system. Like this whole idea of you can take over anyone and that will change how the game plays, because that does sound super interesting to me. But it's a game I can't buy and release. That's also because March is just fucking loaded, and the next date that I have here has multiple games that I'm interested in. So, I mean, it's not coming out in March. It's coming out some other time. But that whole swath of spring games is just like so intense. So that's kind of where I stand on Legion.
I definitely am intrigued on how the systems play out for the players and stuff. I'm one of those people though, like I feel like I have to beat the second game before I even touch this, and I can't see myself beating the second game like before this, so obviously I wouldn't get it at release.
But you didn't play Watch Dogs 1 though, did you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you did?
I got it at midnight release. I've played the shit out of that game.
How come you're like that? Because I feel like these games are going for like a real anthology next chapter.
Like standalone?
You don't got to follow them, right? So I feel like you could, if you really want to jump into it,
I feel like to scratch the itch of a Watch Dogs type game, I have Watch Dogs 2 that I haven't even put time
Fair
into.
enough.
I've heard a lot of positive things about that game.
Yeah.
I really like the location being in San Francisco and stuff like that. So I don't know. I feel like I don't need to drop. Again, we're just mentioning the price point of some of these games that are dropping. Right, it's going to be $90. So I'd rather just play something that I've already dropped money on.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my outlook on it, but. That is cool that it is like a standalone game, and you don't have to play like the first two to do that. I do like the new locations and stuff, but at the same time, I have a new location with Watch Dogs 2 that I have yet to jump into.
and one thing I'll say for Watch Dogs is sometimes if you see a delay, that could be a worrying thing. I think generally it's a good thing, right? It's like we need more time to polish this game off.
Totally.
I don't think Watch Dogs was pushed because it needs more time. I think it was pushed because Ubisoft like pushed everything and had some weird financial
They did a
thing.
big shift over, and they didn't they let go some people too in that.
I don't know. There was this whole weird jumbling where they had to move a bunch of shit.
They did a bunch of
around,
restructuring.
And obviously maybe that's where Gods and Monsters falls into this too.
Yeah.
I think
And
that
Skull
game
and
was just
Bones.
nowhere near finished. I don't even know why it was announced for February, but
that's crazy.
anyway, Mr. Ubisoft, is Watch Dogs Legion a day one buy for you?
So here's the thing.
Obviously, context is important.
I was cleaning out my wall the other day,
100%.
right?
Cleaning it out.
You make it sound like it's just this
Massive.
fucking trunk filled with years
it was
worth of
hefty.
treasure.
I realized.
Let me get my wallet.
I pulled out like ADB Games receipts out of here. I was like, holy shit! I was popping off, and I was going through them all.
Popping off. Receipts everywhere.
And I pulled one of these receipts. I was like, oh, I pre-ordered Watch Dogs Legion at some fucking point in my life. So I just threw it back in
you already
there.
got it. Okay.
I already got it pre-ordered. Yeah. So
like fully paid off too.
I don't remember.
I don't think they charge. Don't they just charge you $10 for the pre-order and then
They
they
don't
charge you the
charge you at
rest?
all.
You can choose.
No.
You can pay it off.
Okay.
They don't
immediately.
charge you at all for pre-orders anymore.
Oh,
you
they-
just pay. You just ask to pre-order it and you can.
But
put
you
it
can
down.
pre-order and pay for the whole thing. That way you can just pick it up.
You can.
I still have a
So-
$5 Arkham City pre-order I never picked up, so I'm still.
They can transfer that over. Actually, I did that for a
Oh,
game.
maybe they
'Cause I
did.
pre-ordered
That'd be
Dragon
nice.
Ball
Arkham
Z and then I got
City?
pushed
Yeah,
back.
because my auntie got it for me, but I
Man.
never picked it up.
I had the most sus scenario. I went to EB Games. I bought Outer Worlds, and then I at some point later that month I went to go buy something else, and they're like, "Hey, you have this pre-order that's fully paid off for Outer Worlds. Do you want to do you want to get that game
Yeah,
too?"
you
I'm like,
do.
"I bought that. What do you do? What's going on here, guys?"
Oh, you're a good soul.
So I don't know.
You're a
I think I
good
used that
son.
money to pay for the current. I don't know. It was a weird scenario. I was
It
like,
was
"What
a
are you
weird
fucking
scenario.
doing, EB Games? Doesn't this like pop up when you
Yeah.
when I buy this that I already bought this?"
Unfor-
Also bad on me that I should have known that I spent $90 on this thing and I should have already owned it.
Yeah. Unfortunate for me, unfortunate for you, the fans, for I had to get Jedi Fallen Order at midnight launch. There's some different type of people that work at EB Games.
Travis loves midnight
I don't think they
launches.
know what's going on
They're
over
an
there.
interesting bunch for sure.
Yeah.
Throwing
Jessica,
balloons over
former
his head
employee
and
there.
everything.
Oh yeah. No self-decent employer should let employees wear pajamas at a midnight launch.
People
I'm
recording
sorry.
Travis too. He was just
Yes,
hating
it was a
it.
whole scenario. That's an after 9 topic. Taylor, Legion, you're there day one.
Yeah,
clearly.
I'm there day one. I'll probably get this right away. Like I played Watch Dogs 1. I loved it. It was definitely. I'm happy they continued in that franchise because it was leading towards something really, really good. I love Watch Dogs 2 from what I've played. It's been super enjoyable, and it just has me excited for Watch Dogs 3. I'm glad that they're like anthologies, and I can just hop on to like any which one of these.
You're
I
not
don't-
missing Aiden.
No, not really. He's an interesting
He's
character.
a forgettable
but
character.
It's cool
He's
because
most generic white guy,
yeah.
trench coat, like
He is.
hero.
Trench coat.
Yeah, he is. It's trench coat with
Generic
like
white guy
with
a
the
trench coat.
classic scarf that you're gonna pull up like he's in the Western.
I want
or
to
something.
cosplay as him actually because I have his
Don't let him do this,
bandana
Madison.
or whatever. It's so cool.
Did you get that with the pre-order of Watch Dogs?
Oh yeah, steel case. But it's funny because he's actually canonized in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
actually
yeah.
showed him in there, so it's cool to have the universes kind of connect.
Sick.
But I haven't had anything to kind of tickle my itch with Ubisoft, so I'm kind of like there haven't been a game that's come out for a while. I didn't get Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I didn't get Division 2 because those 2 just kind of
A
drifted
lot of
away.
people didn't.
Yeah, if I don't get it, no one else does because I got tabs in the Ubisoft community.
They know they're like, if Taylor Field gets a seal of approval, we got to get this.
Oh
game.
yeah. So
Wow,
I'm still playing Division 1 and Ghost Recon Wildlands, but I need a new Ubisoft gem to just sink my hands
Gem.
into.
I like the word gem.
So
Good
this
addition.
this just looks like it goes right up my alley, and I'm super excited to drive into it.
Do you want to watch Dogs Assassin's Creed
Love your
crossover one
describe
day,
anything
like
with-
Assassin's Dog or something?
Assassin's Dog, I would
Yeah.
love that.
Where
Like
they
you,
you could do it.
What about
do
a movie?
Do in present
Assassin's
day.
Dog.
Well,
They had enough problem with Assassin's Creed the movie. Let's not give them another franchise.
I just bought Steep, and like that's my
Nice.
Ubisoft kind of game right now, and it's such great
a great
experience. Oh yeah,
It's very well made.
it's
I
like
saw this hilarious gif of someone who went to they climbed to the very top of, I'm guessing, one of the highest mountains to go do one of those squirrel suit jumps, and then they just biffed it on a rock and just fall down the mountain, smashing their body the whole way down.
oh that
It
sucks.
looked like I want someone to recreate it, but actually show me what that would have looked like to do this.
Yeah.
one,
In
'cause
real
it
life?
It looked I'd say you. But yeah, it was too bad that that never. It was just one of those unsatisfying gifts, ended
Yeah, I
too
hear
soon,
ya.
kind of thing.
I hear you.
Sorry to
It's
take you.
well on to what you said, Travis, like a crossover between Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed. It's something I would love, but the only thing I get right now is their
The
games
only
kind
thing.
of they share things. So in Ghost Recon Wildlands, I have
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed clothes that I can wear with the hood, and then you can get that in For Honor. They have Assassin's Creed events where you can dress up as Templars and Assassins. So they kind of intermingle, exchange.
Telling ya.
In the
Where's
Petri
that
dish.
Ubisoft party where it's the Mario party or their Smash? They should make a Smash with all their Ubisoft
Oh,
characters.
that'd be so
That would be
lesser.
so
It'd be
good.
so much lesser.
I would not buy that, but I'd play it if Taylor brought it.
I'd be all.
Well,
they
I
gotta-
wanna-
they
I
gotta
wanna
start
get
making more
Soul Calibur
Smash
5.
games. Yeah,
Soul Calibur 5 has Ezio in it, so that's I gotta get that, but it's still expensive for a game. Soul
All games
Caliburs
are,
are popping off.
Oh,
Sorry, I
man.
thought you were building to something. Anyway,
it was just that they
crossover.
share stuff. That was his big
okay,
point.
Okay. Back to March 13th. I'm guessing this is a timed exclusive for PS4. I think it's coming on this stuff, but maybe Kirklin can confirm this one. But Neo 2. Do you know if the first one was?
It was timed exclusive for PlayStation.
Okay.
And then it went to PC.
Yeah,
and
because
then
I swear this game
think
was on
Xbox, but
I
I
swear
could be
the
wrong.
original was on other stuff as well.
Yeah.
So I guess it is.
It
just
came out
timed.
PS4 exclusive.
And you've played the first one?
Yes, I played over 80 hours into
So-
it.
Oh snap!
Oh,
so you
yeah.
went
boy.
fully fledged in it. So what do you
went
think about Neo 2
hard
coming
into
out?
it. I've
March
yet to
13th?
beat it. It's like a Souls game, so it's just fucking hard
Yeah.
at parts. And but I absolutely love that game. I personally like it more than Dark Souls, just because the gameplay seems a lot more fast. But I haven't played Sekiro, but a lot of people say that. Have you played it?
Mhm. Yep.
So it's more fast paced than.
It's a lot more.
Yeah,
it's a lot more
exactly.
movement based, and there's a lot more stealth elements to it. as well,
Okay, yeah. So a lot of people claim that's the best one. Sekiro won Game of the Year last year, so
Sure
it
did.
kind of makes sense.
Mhm.
But personally, I love Neo. I love the world that it went in there. You're in Japan,
Stances.
so I'm just
Yeah.
biased towards that. Fucking weeb over here. But no, it's cool how they have the guardian spirit system. I don't know if anyone is aware with
What
it.
is that?
Anyways, it's just a guardian that you can carry with you. You can collect other ones, and they can empower you, but they also you get this bar. Then once it's stacked, you can activate your guardian spirit. So you just fucking mow down
Oh,
dudes.
nice.
But the game's so hard, it doesn't really make a difference. So it's just I don't know. It's just a really cool game. The gameplay was the biggest I don't know thing I loved about it. It's just there's different stances that you change between attacks, and it felt really cool and new and unique as opposed to Dark Souls where I felt like you're so limited with what you can do. But I don't know, it's still good.
So
but
where are you on Neo 2?
Neo 2, I'm really excited for it. I will be following it. Unfortunately, it won't be a day release just 'cause March is fucking packed
Yeah.
and I don't make $1 trillion a year to just buy every game that comes out
$1
because I
Trillion.
feel like there's unlimited games that come out every year. Obviously,
Yeah.
we don't have all of them on this list,
Uh-huh.
but there's
is a
so
parcel
many.
list, yeah.
I don't have enough time to do it all, and I still got to beat Neo 1 like I already mentioned before. I'm one of those people that feel like I have
Do you
to
know how
beat
far
the
you are?
prize
Because I
game.
feel like 70, 80 hours is
I'm
pretty.
I feel
I
like
think
I'm
Dark
pretty
Souls
close
3
to
took
the
me
end.
around
I'm definitely
80,
not at the
90.
last boss because I know what the last boss is, but I feel like I'm pretty close. But the game is it's so embarrassing to say because it's once you beat the game, then it opens up a whole new type of game, the
Oh,
end
okay.
game, and I'm not even there yet, so it's pretty
Dang,
embarrassing. But
that's
I still
crazy.
love it.
That's scary.
I'll definitely be following it.
Yeah.
I hope it does good because I love the makers, the game developers. They did
yeah.
a really good
Well, I
job
feel
on
like
it.
so many games have ripped off the Dark Souls formula and don't really do it in the best way. But I
Yeah.
think Neo was the one that did it so well that you're not the only one who likes it
Yeah.
better than any of the Dark Souls
Yeah,
games,
exactly.
so.
They very much took the bonfire system. Obviously,
Yeah.
you die, you have to collect your souls when you die, but everything else other than that is new. There's actually a linear storyline.
Right.
just like I said, the gameplay is way different. Just they definitely made their own, which is awesome.
Travis, I'm guessing you're not going to be picking up Neo 2.
Nope, but I think it will sell well because just I hear a lot of people talk about it. Same thing. I never played the first one. I just dabbled in that type of game, play with Jedi Fallen Order, and that's to the lowest degree. So and I don't even have anything against those games. It's just
they take a big time.
They do, and especially
really
about with Dark Souls, I think they've changed some things now. But lots of people are like it's really hard. There's no story, and I always said I'm the story guy on this podcast, so I'm story first, then gameplay. Unless gameplay is like fucking atrocious, like Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End or something. But like other than that, I'm always story. So, but I think it will sell well just because I hear lots of people talk about it.
Yeah, that's a good point because other than Final Fantasy, like this is kind of one of the first big releases before the just troves of other stuff. So the timing might be good for it.
Yeah, and I think it's still a different audience. That's a good thing, at least with these games that are coming out in March and April. I feel like they are different types of games. It's just, unfortunately, I like a few of those types. And, but if you just like Nier Automata or that playstyle, you're not worried about it because you're not gonna.
I'm sure did you download Neo when it was free on PS?
I usually give them just a check mark.
I think I downloaded it as well, so I'm gonna try it at some point.
Yeah, I always give them check marks. I don't know what is this month's game. Oh, it's the Nathan Drake collection. I'm excited for that too.
Nice.
Really? Yeah.
Solid.
I would have borrowed that from you, but now I can just download it, so that's good.
For January, yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
What
I
was
think.
the other one?
It's
I didn't even hear
Goat Simulator.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm down. That game looks.
I'm pretty
fucking
sure it's
wild.
Goat Simulator. So
Taylor, do you have anything to add on Neo 2? Or Neo you don't? I was trying to
got
you into
you.
another pun.
Neo.
Like
Good.
The
Neo, I
fantasizing
don't.
one. With
I didn't realize like the timing wise, it's actually probably good because people that have like played a lot of Sekiro and then I guess Fallen Order was another like in that genre. Obviously, there's nothing else out until this, so I feel like people that are loving those games, they'll definitely jump into this. I
I feel like maybe
fix.
people got their fix from Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, but that game's really short for like a Souls type because it's not really that hard.
It's really glitchy too.
It's terribly glitchy.
Fucking just
not
glitched.
a great
Check out our review.
Fucking. All right, March 20th. This date is fucking jam-packed. I'll start with the Nintendo exclusive, the first one of the year, Animal Crossing. New Horizon, I think, is the title there. Animal Crossing New Horizon.
It is box art, so it should definitely be coming out.
That game is coming out. I mean, it was originally announced as 2019, but got pushed back. So that one is good to go. I'm really excited for this game. I like when I got a GameCube as a kid, I had Melee and Animal Crossing. Those are the two games I wanted, and those were when I got the GameCube. That's what I got, and like, man, I can't tell you how many hours I've sunk into both those games collectively as a kid. Like it just was one of the most magical times in gaming for me. Is that 2001, 2002, playing Animal Crossing, Morrowind, Melee. Like, damn, gaming has not surpassed that moment.
Peak.
For me. But I'm really excited for Animal Crossing. I liked the one on 3DS as well, but I don't know. It didn't have that magic. I feel like nostalgia is a big factor for me, like in the GameCube one. But I say this for every game, but the Switch is a perfect console for it. Where if you want to sit down and play it on the big screen, but also like Animal Crossing more than anything, just get in there for the day, do your daily stuff. It's like perfect to have that on the go. So I think that's great. I'm super excited for this game, and I think it's going to be it's just like the top of the line like slice of life game where it's just really fun to just sit down and play. Very relaxing, very like therapeutic game almost. So I'm excited for this one. I think there does seem like there's a lot of changes to the Animal Crossing formula. Not like that's the selling point for me. For me, it's just a new Animal Crossing. That's all I need. You guys all have Switches. Is anyone else playing this game? It has multiplayer functionality, so we could visit each other and like give each other apples.
Yeah, no, I definitely won't be doing any Apple stuff. I think I've barely played them. I think it's not like it is a huge fan base, but I don't think it's the hugest. But everyone's really passionate about that, so I think it will do well. When was the last time they had a console release? It's been a while, right?
It would have been that Animal Crossing party game, right, on the Wii U.
Yeah, but didn't people kind of be like that wasn't the greatest?
Yeah, so Animal Crossing's history is there was one on N64, but it was a Japanese only release, and then GameCube was the one that everyone kind of played, and then there was one on the DS and then one on the 3DS.
Yeah.
So there hasn't been one since the GameCube in like 2001.
So it's been quite a while. So I think that's gonna sell tremendously, and I've never played it, and I don't plan on playing this one.
No.
So.
How about you boys?
I am not interested in it, but someone in my household will be getting it.
Nice.
She's gonna be gone for a few months around that time, so I don't think we'll be seeing it for like till she gets back.
Yeah.
So,
I thought you were gonna insinuate you might steal it from her or something.
I'm not buying it. She
Yeah,
can
yeah,
buy it.
yeah.
So
You might start a save and just get addicted. You might just like, oh, I love these little animals. I want to.
We'll
I want to
see.
help them out.
There's
I
a
want
lot
to
of
make my
games I
house
need to
bigger and
catch up
better
on
and
until
cooler. I
then.
want to sell some turnips for a high price.
yeah, I don't know. It reminded me of like it's similar to Harvest Moon, right?
Yes, it's more. It's less like. Like I feel like Harvest Moon's like in 40 days your crops are harvested and you can do it. Whereas Animal Crossing you can just hop in and it's just like a day-to-day sort of thing.
Okay.
It's a little more like chore based.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Similar though.
Mr. Field.
Yeah, I've got a lot of good memories with the original GameCube. That
Nice.
was like, again, for me it was Star Fox Assault and Animal Crossing. Those are my 2 games that I got.
Star Fox Assault.
On GameCube.
For GameCube, yeah.
Oh right, I forgot about Assault.
But yeah, those are the games I was popping off with, and I loved Animal Crossing so much. And my younger cousin, he had it first, and he played the living shit out of it.
Yeah.
And like when I got it, I was working my way up in my town. We would always like visit each other's towns with like the memory cards sticking to the GameCube.
That was
It
cool.
was so
Yeah, yeah.
cool.
I remember you could like go. I had like on my Game Boy Advance. I don't know how it worked again, but I could like go to this island on
Yeah.
my Game Boy Advance. I could get some special
You have like a
items and
cord.
stuff.
They had that for
Yeah.
Wind Waker. You could link
Yeah,
up.
yeah. That was a different time. in
Yeah,
games.
that was just so it was so magical and just so exciting. I loved like building up my house with like the basement with like games room and then like the
Yeah.
attic with the bedroom
Gotta
and
squash
stuff.
the
and
beetles.
yeah, it was
cockroaches.
just it was so legendary and trying to like restore the museum. Just so many good memories with that. And I remember I always wanted to get like the NES console and by winning the raffle.
Right.
Fucking hard. Never could do it though.
Dude, there's always so much to collect. in
Oh,
you
there
still
is.
never did it.
Still never did
You
it.
should
No,
go
but
Jump
you
back
could.
in, yeah.
Yeah.
Were
I
you-
could
did
go
you
back
use-
in.
I used a lot of cheats when I played that game. Were you? I guess and you didn't.
I
You were
didn't
very
know. I
vanilla
didn't. I
kinda
didn't use
guy.
cheats. I did like the
He-
resetting thing. So
He was worried he might catch a virus or
yeah,
something. like Taylor.
Rossetti is one of the greatest Nintendo characters of all time, and I remember I popped into him way too many times. But
Yeah.
yeah, him and Tom Nook take me back. This is a game though that I really do want to get. I think it's a staple Nintendo game. I think in any household. I think if you have
In
a
any
Nintendo,
household.
yeah, if you have a Nintendo console, I think Animal Crossing is just it should be there with it.
Right.
Not in my home.
I
Not
played
mine.
the heck out of New Leaf on 3DS. I actually really enjoyed that one, and it kind of pulled me in
Yeah.
like to the magic of that kind of world again, and just building up everything in my town, and
I like
kind
that
of being
one.
the mayor
I
was
think
very
my-
cool.
I almost didn't like the multiplayer aspect of it because you could go to like the town hall, whatever it is, and you can like visit other people's houses. And I was like, holy shit, these people have really nice houses. They have like all the rooms. They have like all this nice furniture. It's all designed nice. I'm over here with like I just started, so I was way behind everyone. I just had like the most ghetto house. So like I have nothing to show. So sad.
Part
You
of me
got
just
cheats.
yeah, I didn't have cheats for the online.
Oh, okay.
a part of me just thinks to myself like, man, I can do all this great stuff in this game, but fuck, what am I doing in real life? Just got
That is a depressing.
it is depressing, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those games for sure. And speaking of March 20th, on the same day comes Doom Eternal and Doom 64, the kind of like remake, which I think since they had to push the game back, I think they made that like a pre-order bonus if
Yeah.
you get Doom Eternal. So yeah, coming out on the same day. That's where I'm big conflicted because obviously Animal Crossing is like an instant buy for me. I have to get that. Whereas I really want Doom Eternal. I still have to play the 2016 when I have it on my PC ready to go. So I'll play that before this one comes out. But I love the look of this game,
Mhm.
like the multiplayer with the what I guess like asynchronous like multiplayer where some guys are playing as like the demons,
Right,
and some
yeah.
are playing as the Marines. It just looks like such a great game, like just taking the original one and expanding on it in interesting ways. And I really want to get it, but it's just so tricky when I'm already buying a full price game on that same day.
Oh yeah.
But I keep making this joke because I think it's just a funny idea of like, you know, hopping on to play some games for the day, play Doom Eternal, just like killing demons, just the most grotesque, violent game of all time, and then just go tend to your plants in
Mhm.
Animal Crossing.
The
It's like
water.
I feel like, or even in
It's a
your
happy
in your
good
load,
balance, yeah.
on your load screens, like whip out your Switch and like
Oh yeah, yeah.
just cruise around town for a bit. So maybe that'll be nice, right? Because like I feel like that's a stimulus overload playing
Yeah.
Doom, and Animal Crossing could help soothe the palate for the evening.
Mhm.
What do you think, Travis, as the guy who played Doom?
Yeah, who
here?
would think I'm the only person to play the shooter on this cast? I loved that first Doom. I still gotta beat it, but I think I'm pretty close to it. I'm not a big shooter fan. I'm not a big first person fan, but I was just thinking like I need a good shooter. Briggs was always talking about Doom, and I remember I think I saw the E3 for the second one. I was like, I've always wanted to get it, got it, loved it. I used to play Doom back in the day. It just feels like I've never been on cocaine, but I feel like it's the closest you could be. Like that'd be a game that'd be really fun in VR, especially when you're getting the power ups and you're just like
That'd be
raging.
scary.
Yeah, it's great. It's so much fun. It's balls to the wall. It's just murder and mayhem. If you like that stuff, you get this. I think this is a game for me that I don't think I would need it full price, but when it drops down to the 40 range, I will likely buy it. I don't even know in 2020, but I'm hoping even with the PS5 that you could get remasters of some of these games that are coming out this year. So maybe that's when I catch it on the back end, because lots of launch games kind of suck. If you look at like the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One and PS3 and PS4, like launch games are never the classics of the consoles.
Knack?
What?
Remember
Knack?
Knack?
Yeah, Rise.
It takes
you
time
know?
for the devs to get acclimatized with that new
Yeah.
hardware
Exactly.
and maximize its.
But I remember when
efficiencies.
PS4 came out, I bought the game of the year for Injustice. So if there's something like that for Doom, I'd be probably more inclined to buy it even in 2021. So it's on my radar as I will get it eventually. I trust these devs just because that first game was great. But it's a great game.
You said you played some Doom back in the day. Did you play Doom 64?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was one when you plug with a couple friends and you get shot and everything.
I'm excited to try that out as well.
Yeah.
Just to see what it's like as a history piece almost.
Can you play as Dwayne Johnson in these Doom games?
No, you can't.
Oh, damn.
Could you in any? I don't get the joke.
In the movie.
He was in,
he's in the movie.
There's a movie.
That's
Doom,
what we should
yeah.
retro right there.
It's not good.
How about you
Yeah,
guys?
we'll retro it one day.
Where are you guys on Doom? This one's coming to all consoles.
Yeah, I'm. It's weird because I don't know, I wasn't that interested like when the remake came out. Was that the 2016 version?
Yeah, just this
and
is
that was
kinda
the only
called
like
Doom
new one that
2016.
came out, right?
Yeah.
And then this is gonna be the second one. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It looked fun. I don't know. It's just maybe it's one of those things where I had a bunch of other games and it just kind of fell through the cracks for me. I'm not the biggest like shooter player anymore. But I don't know. I'm still intrigued on the 2016 version. Again, like I've mentioned before, I feel like I'm kind of have
You
to
can
play
get
that
it pretty
first one.
cheap for the most
But
part.
I don't know. This one, it just looks like it, like Dylan said, it's building upon what the first game had. Plus, it has that really cool multiplayer. I love that, like that style of
Kind of Left 4 Dead.
yeah, like Left 4 Dead. Like Friday the 13th is another game I would think of, and it's something cool and fun, and not too many games are doing that. And I don't know. I've found a lot of fun in them, whether you're playing as like the Marine or the actual like demon thing. I don't know, it just looked cool to me. I can't see myself buying it right away, maybe not even this year.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it'll just be like what Travis said, where if they remake it on PS5, I would love to pick that up. I don't know, it looks fun, and I hope it does well.
And
I'm sorry.
who knows also because they've been talking about backwards compatibility, so you might not even have to get a game of the year. You might be able to get the PS4 one when it's cheaper, and then boom, because for both Xbox, and that's the rumor that all the way to PS1 that's going to be backwards compatible. Obviously not the old discs.
Yeah.
That'd be the best if I could plug in my Crash Bandicoot. But
so I'd love to play like my old PS2 games on there.
Yeah. So that'd be good. Get it cheaper and still play on the new console, up-res.
I really wanted to do well because Doom always has a special place in my heart. I remember playing like the original Doom on floppy disk on PC, like fucking way back in the day. So I just think that's a series that should stick around because it's just like what Travis said, just balls to the walls, fucking mayhem action, and like in this day and age, you have games like Death Stranding, games like that are hyper realistic, just so much like jam packed in there. But it's just awesome to just have a fast paced first person shooter game.
It's nice that it knows exactly what it is, and it doesn't try to
exactly
doesn't try to bog the game down with like throwing out other like unnecessary stuff. It's just like you just kill demons. That's the game.
Fast
the story's very little. Just get this briefcase.
Yeah,
and that's
it doesn't want to take you out of the action.
And I think it'll do gangbusters because that games get delayed all the time. And I don't even follow many gaming people. When that game got delayed, I saw so many people bummed out.
They do really good at marketing it.
Yeah, I think the first game did really well as far as just, like it did well, but I mean like just did well spreading to people even like myself. So I think the second one will do gangbusters, and we'll get another one because I also feel that like this might be hyperbolic, but I think it's probably the most unique shooter out there as far as like the mainstream, your CODs, your Battlefields, your Divisions, like
they're not going for
or
like
Ghost Recon, not Division so much. Yeah, it's something that is just like you guys
feel like
talked
it's
about.
Almost homage like Duke Nukem and Quake and like that era of shooters, like what the shooters that created the genre, right?
Yeah,
it's like going back to the like the simplistic nature,
The glory
of it,
days.
So. The glory days. Do you have anything to add on Doom, Mr. Field?
You know, I've always found it to be a very interesting and beautiful game, but it's not something that I've ever
beautiful.
Yeah. I've never been able to like make the time to kind of like sit down and play it.
Yeah.
God forbid, Ruben has tried his fucking darndest to get me into it. He plays
Just put the
shit
controller
out of
in your
it.
hand.
Oh yeah, like I
Grabbed you by the crotch. Like, you're not leaving until you play this.
I've played like a little bit of the other first Doom game, and like I enjoy like because there was like level designing on it, wasn't there? Like people could build like levels, I think. Because on like on PC, I think
on the newest one.
I think you're right.
On the newest one.
On the most latest one, yeah.
Wow,
Like
I didn't know that.
Ruben like would sit me down on his computer, and I could go through this whole lobby of like maps that people have created with different scenarios and objectives that they designed for different levels.
That's cool.
Which is very cool. There are different like survival things. I don't know what the fuck I
That'll
was
probably
doing.
work really well with this one and the people being able to play as demons.
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty polished system, but it didn't have everything it needed to be like deliver on what people's creativity want to do. So I feel like if this has that, it's probably expanded and everything. So that's good. Like I'm probably not going to get it. Animal Crossing has it for me. So
yeah.
but to each his own. I'm happy for the Doom.
Yeah.
I'll play it.
The
Sia.
Doom
It's
boys.
got killer soundtracks too. Very.
Oh yeah.
Very wild.
Did you? Oh, it's
It's
so
true.
good.
Briggs
Yeah.
loves playing that. Like I get in his car and it's often playing. It's just
Oh,
like
just the soundtrack?
yeah. And the thing is,
that's
like, it's a
awesome.
time and place sort of soundtrack
Oh,
at
yeah.
the same time, and he plays it really loud. I'm like, this is scary. I'm scared. Here is another Xbox exclusive coming out on the 24th of March. I'm curious if anyone remembers this game called Bleeding Edge.
Fuck is Bleeding Edge.
So we did talk about this. This was on E3. We all talked about this until I watched a trailer last night when I was making this list to familiarize myself. I did not remember what it is. It's essentially a battle arena sort of game. It looks like kind of like Overwatch, but it's third person. It's a little bit more like Smite. You guys watch a little bit of footage, you'll recognize this
I
game
remember.
in an instant.
Yeah, no, not on my radar at all.
Yeah, that's coming out March
Don't want that.
24th for your Microsoft affiliated.
This is on the
platforms.
same tier for me as that roller skating game that they
Yeah.
announced.
I did not include that on our list of 2020 games to talk about, but I totally feel it. So this is not an Xbox exclusive that you're going to stand behind.
I don't even know why it's an exclusive. Holy fuck.
Because no one else wanted
Well,
an Xbox.
right?
because I'm pretty sure this is from the same studio that makes Hellblade, right? Because Ninja Theory, right?
so
So
they just
Microsoft
bought
acquired them,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm guessing I don't know if they have two separate studios in different locations or if they're just like kind of making two games side by side. But I believe this is from Ninja Theory. So
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what eventually comes out of this then.
it
but
looks like it's going to be. What's that fucking game that we
Battleborn?
Battleborn. Yeah,
Right,
that's
I
what
yeah,
I
this
thought
is
when I
the-
saw that art.
this is
That's
the
I got
Battleborn.
flashbacks
Very
to that. Yeah.
Battleborn.
Yeah.
But if it's on Game Pass, you could try it out. See,
It's
you
on
know?
Game
It'll
Pass,
likely be on
maybe.
the Game Pass. Day
Yeah,
one.
because they just fucking colonize their
My
whole
hard drive is
marketing
getting
and
full with
everything.
Game Pass. I gotta be sparingly getting certain games.
I'm very happy you
Like
do
it's
Game
PC
Pass.
though.
I just still
What's that?
think it is outrageous that they put every game on there. I just think that hurts their business.
Oh, really?
Grand
so
Theft
much.
Auto 5.
But that's different. That's an old game. I just mean they're exclusive
It
games.
is on Game Pass, right? So
Yeah.
try it out.
I
I don't know if I'm going to spend the time to download it.
When
and
does
try
it
out.
come out again?
On March 24th.
March 24th.
Can't wait to talk about the Xbox Series X.
All right, March 30th. I don't know if anyone really has much to add on this one, but Persona 5 Royal is coming out. This is essentially like a Game of the Year edition. Like it includes a bunch of deals or I guess add-ons and then some new content as well. So that's coming out on PlayStation 4 on March 30th. Seems just like the definitive version of Persona 5, which is
yeah.
one of the most talked about games.
I'm happy for my best friend Keegan. He's played that game since it's came out. I think he's still playing it. He loves it, so
Yeah.
he'll be at that. For me, all I say is I hope for the rest of fans they get on the Switch one day because I
Yeah.
think that lots of Switch fans want that on the go. But
And,
that's a game
and
just
because
because
Joker's in Smash, it kind of would have worked well.
fuck Joker. It's a game I'll never play just because the time sync. It
Yeah,
just,
that to me that's the biggest thing
Yeah.
against it. It sounds like such a cool game, but the fact that it's like, oh yeah, 100 hours to beat it, I'm like, oh,
maybe when I'm
that's
retired.
big commitment.
Ooh.
When
Yeah,
people
there you
talk
go.
about like our parents like reading books or going on trips, I'm like nah, I just want to be at home. I'll be in my old folks' home with my games. I'm gonna catch up
Yeah.
on all
That's when I'll play Doom too.
That's when I'll come back to Ubisoft. Oh, my wife's
Yeah.
dead and everything.
Play some Ass
you
Creed.
can come to me now. Yeah,
It's like I look at Animal Crossing and I'm not gonna say it's unlikely that I'll end up spending 100 hours on that game, but that's so much different.
100%.
Just like over time accumulating that, just
Yeah.
like because I'm liking it, just screw around playing here or there, but like 100 hours to beat a game to see the credits, like
a lot.
oof.
But if that's your one game for a year, that's great. Like
Yeah.
that's how
Awesome.
my friend King treated it. He's like, I'm not getting any other games. It's just this. I'm like, more power to you. Every time he come
yeah.
back into town every 3 months, like I'm still plugging away on. And I think he had beaten it, but there's just so much to do.
That's what's kind of curious to me about the release date of this game, right? Because it's releasing in that bomb spring period
I
where
think-
a bunch of other games are. It's like, are people going to get the game?
Yeah,
if they've
I
already
think so.
played it, are they going to get it even though they know they're playing new stuff?
I think they're like, not that it's anywhere like a Kojima thing, but I think it's almost like Tarantino, where the Tarantino fans will show up to that movie no matter what. I think
Sure.
the Persona fans, even though
Yeah.
it's kind of a game year, that is such a hardcore fan base, but because I think that's the game, and everything else will go to the wayside, and they'll play that. I think it's a smaller one, but I think they always make their money back and do well. So I think it will sell to its core fan base. So
yeah.
good for them. And
When did the first one come out? Just,
Um,
does
2
anyone know?
years ago, I think now, right?
The first game?
Oh, you mean Persona 1?
Oh,
I,
no,
sorry,
yeah,
I thought you
sorry.
meant the first of this.
Yeah,
Yeah, Persona 5? Yeah, what do you
Persona
Yeah.
1.
They did 5 sequels in a
Was
span
that
of
like
2
a
years.
PS1 game?
I
Like-
want to say PS2, but
Oh,
I
okay.
can't say for sure.
I was just curious.
say 2004 2005. 2005 is when Persona 1 came out.
It says before Jesus Christ. No.
Oh wow.
Oh wow, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, seriously.
Joker.
Do you guys have? Are you? I guess it's not on
Yeah.
Xbox, so you're not gonna be playing.
Oh,
it.
I
How
wasn't
about
too
you?
familiar with the series. I know it's popular and
Yeah,
it's cool.
as a weeb, as a self-proclaimed weeb.
1996.
Wow.
Wow.
1996
On PS1, I guess,
is
yeah.
yeah,
That's crazy.
PlayStation.
The characters look cool. I've never
Yeah.
played Joker in Smash. I heard it's very RNG.
He's
never
some say
will.
he's the best character. At least the best player in the game plays him and fucks
Mm.
everyone up. So
Where's Joaquin Phoenix?
Isn't it just RNG though? With like
What?
isn't there like a roll effect?
you're talking
or
about
something?
Hero. Hero's the RNG character.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yep.
Okay.
All Smash is RNG anyways. With weapons.
Except melee.
With I covered with weapons.
Yikes. Okay, moving on. So this is doesn't have a set date in March, but they have said it is March. That is Half-Life Alyx, the VR, I guess, sequel for the Half-Life series. This is coming, I guess, exclusively to the what's the Steam's VR thing? Is that the Oculus? Am I thinking that?
I think it is Oculus.
yeah.
Like,
So
that's Valve.
you know, you got to spend
Not
like
Mega.
$1,000 if you want to play this game.
Nice.
Um,
Never played Half-Life.
yeah, I don't
never
think we
will.
have any Half-Life boys here, do we?
I like Half-Life.
Yeah?
Not a diehard Half-Life.
You're not one of those guys
played,
that's like buying the VR so you can play the
No.
sequel.
I'm a
Are
little.
you really a fan?
Which there
then?
is people who
Oh, I
sound like
know.
they're doing that.
Not
I don't know,
Kirklin,
I'm
though.
not a hardcore Half-Life fan, but at the same time, I am a little worried about this just because Half-Life 3. I know it doesn't have like the name Half-Life 3
Yeah.
on it. It's Half-Life Alyx and it is a VR exclusive, but so many people are going to be seeing it as Half-Life 3 and the expectations are just going to be so high
Yeah,
on this
that's
game.
not good.
No, it's very not good, and especially if it's only a
Yeah.
VR game. Like
but
a
maybe that's the
fraction
kind of
the
buzz
im-
that's good for VR as like a platform.
Yeah. I
If
don't
it
know.
hits, yeah. But if it
If
doesn't,
hits.
then it's
I
Stadia.
saw like a little teaser, I guess, for it. And it just looked cool seeing.
It
like,
does look great.
Like G-Man on there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know who that is. Just
G-Man.
like the dude in the suit.
Greg.
Yeah, it's Greg. Greg Man.
Yeah.
That's what G stands for. But I don't know. I'm a little weirded out about this one just because
Weirded out.
like it's
really
ki-
wigging me out.
yeah,
man.
Half-Life 3 is like that unicorn that people have been chasing like
Yeah.
literally for years. Like when
It's
did the
true.
last Half-Life game come out?
Wasn't it
Like over a
2000
decade, I think.
Like
yeah,
it was before
2006 or
PS3.
something like that.
Oh, okay.
The
yeah.
orange
Maybe not
box
then.
was it part of the orange box?
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Shout out to the
I don't
orange
know,
box.
just-
Love the orange box.
It's weird whenever you have like a long like wait for a game, like for a sequel rather. It's always a red flag for me. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Beyond Good and Evil too.
Yeah, come help us.
Yeah.
Come, everyone. 2004 was Half-Life
Wow.
Oh, is that part of the orange box? Does it say there?
2.
Team Fortress.
It was on the orange box. I'm pretty sure. Because it was Portal.
There was like 2 or 3 versions of Half-Life in the orange box.
Oh, okay. It might have been like Lost Coast.
As well
or
with
part
Team
1 or part
Fortress,
2.
Portal.
Doesn't say just on a regular switch or regular search.
It's not a big deal.
Okay, not a big deal. anyways,
for
you're a fan?
me, well, I've never played them, but like as far as I can remember, Half-Life 2, I think that was like my earliest encounter with memes. I think that was my first
Really?
encounter with memes.
That was
the
your first meme?
Half-Life 2, yeah. And I just remember like everyone rumoring about it and talking about it, because I would have been in like
Rumoring
less than
about
10
it.
years old. I would have been like grade 5 or 6. And it was Half-Life 3. When is that coming? And then like Left 4 Dead 3. Those were the two like main ones that everyone was just salivating
And now it's
for.
like Portal 3 as
Yeah,
well.
Portal
Yeah,
3 I hear
Portal
all the
3,
Team
time.
yeah.
Fortress 3.
Yeah, so
Come
it's
on,
just
Valve.
escalated. So
Fucking do it.
I think what Kirklin said is spot on. This is like, the unicorn. This is the white whale. This is like they gotta tread carefully because there's a lot of expectation. I think
Yeah.
if either you pump it out as Half-Life 3 and you fucking nail it and it's good and you know that, or you just
That's not what
never
they're doing, though.
never do
That's-
it. Just
yeah.
leave it.
Yeah.
So
I will say, like, obviously they've been working on this game for a while, but they also acquired their entire studio. God, I can't remember the studio's name, but the team that made Firewatch, and they had that game of, oh my God, of Flood and Flames. I can't remember what the game was called, but it looked really cool. I remember we all were buzzing about it after an E3. They acquired that whole studio. That game's not coming out anymore, and they're just all working on Half-Life. So they definitely are putting a lot of resources into making this game something big, something that people, hopefully, I mean, from them for their perspective, buy VR so they can have this
Yeah.
game and then hopefully discover other stuff. But yeah, that's definitely like the biggest VR exclusive that has happened so
Yeah.
far. So that's pretty interesting, I think.
People who use Air Canada don't use them. I had a flight 3 weeks ago. They just got back to me now on Twitter saying, "Oh, how could I help you with your assistance?" Good job, Air Canada.
Yikes.
Yeah, I avoid them.
Yeah.
I've had some good experiences. I've had some bad experiences. Let's jump into April 3rd.
Oh, I know what's coming up.
It sure is. April 3rd, Resident Evil 3 remake.
I'll play it after Resident Evil 2 remake, but I think it's going to be great. I think Capcom's doing a good job of kind of getting back out there and being in the public eye, because I think those before Resident Evil, I know it was 7, but they didn't kind of rebranding
Yeah.
it before them. they weren't the butt of the joke, but everyone just kind of wrote them off. They're making lower tier Resident Evil games, and they're not someone to look after. I don't think they're fucking Naughty Dog level, but at least they are a much more positive light. So if they give the same love to it they did to 2, that's great. But 2 and 4 were kind of the big ones for me. So that's what 3 is foggy for me. So I'll get to it at some point, I think.
It seems like they're pretty honorable when it comes to making these because they add new content to it. But they still keep all the original stuff. At least that's what I hear. I'm not a big Resident Evil guy myself, but
yeah, I'm not the biggest Resident Evil guy. I think I played like it was 1 or 2 on the PS1. I wasn't the biggest fan of like the clunky mechanics. I don't know.
It's clunky. I tried to play the first one again last year, just non-remastered. It was just non-remake. It was a remastered. It was tough. I quit.
It's weird because like when you compare a system like that, obviously it's dated with the PS1, but like I don't know, I loved like the content that I had. It was very spooky, very similar to like Silent Hill. For the same reason, I didn't get too into those series just because the game mechanic, the camera angles were terrible. I hated it. Just a PS1 gimmick that they had back in the day. But
like VR, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. Resident Evil 2, like that remake, it just looks so good, and I can't wait to jump into that. And then probably similar to Travis, I probably won't touch this until if or after I get done with Resident Evil 2.
Or a bundle they put out of 2 and 3 together.
That's
like what Travis said. I think it's awesome what Capcom's doing because it very much was that that company that was, I feel like, kind of getting out of the public's eye of
they
being
used
like
to be good.
They used to be good, exactly. So it is cool that they're doing these things, and obviously the public are loving it, the consumers. So
a lot of people loved the remake.
It was up for Game of the Year, so that's wild.
Yeah,
on a remake.
Yeah.
I loved Resident Evil 7. I thought it was a fantastic game, and I really do want to go play these original ones because I never had much of an experience growing up with them. But Resident Evil 3, it just I think I've watched some trailers on it and such, and it looks pretty awesome. It's something that I definitely want to experiment with and kind of get into there and play around with. But when it comes to Resident Evil, I've always been the movie end of it. So
the one guy.
I like it.
On the movie.
All right. I don't think they're good, but I like them. Similar like Underworld. It's just like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, it is.
Another big hitter, April 16th. Cyberpunk 2077. Travis's nickname was obviously alluding to this one.
Yeah, which I feel bad because I was talking about Kirklin this a couple of weeks ago that I want to get it. I just don't know if it's a day one for me just because there's 2 coming up, one that I really want and one that I feel like I'll play just because our cast and audience is kind of to it, and I think you can kind of guess which one. Yeah, so we'll see. I really want to. My only experience with CD Projekt Red is The Witcher 3, but that is enough to get me as a lifelong fan. So my only hang up I've always said is that it's first person, but you know it's CD Projekt Red, so I give them benefit of the doubt. I just love the world they're setting up, but I probably will get day one, to be honest. It's just one of those, it's just tough because I want to, if I think they've said it's not as big as Witcher 3, but doesn't mean much because Witcher 3 is a massive game. So it's a game that I don't want to rush through. It's a game that I want to enjoy. So that's the only thing where it might be a wait and see. But this is a day one for me. I'm lying to myself, but it's very likely a day one, and I can't wait. It's looking great.
I'm super excited for this game as well. Like I wasn't as into Witcher 3 as everyone else, but I'm sure if I gave it more hours, I would eventually get to that point where I would just like fall in love with it, but it didn't hit me in the first few hours, and I kind of just swept it under the rug, so to speak. But this one, I don't know, because I really like that setting that Witcher 3 was in, but I like shooters, I like first-person games in general, so I'm super down for this one. It just seems super interesting, and obviously Witcher 3 is an incredibly relevant game. Go back to our Of the Decade cast. It was pretty high up there in a couple different categories, so I think this one honestly is probably looking like a day one buy for me. Like I still haven't really seen much gameplay footage of it, and that's always kind of the seller for me. So I'm going to check out some of that, but we're like closer when they actually have some more of that. But honestly, I think I just want to be in the conversation for this game more than anything. So I think that's probably why I'm going to be there.
No, totally.
Yeah.
This game just it's got me pretty excited. This is definitely I will say it's going to be a day one buy for me, even though I had like just some minor concerns with like how it's going to run on my PS4 because I don't have a PS4 Pro or anything, so I imagine it will have some like weird, there's classic like PlayStation bugs that you get like with a day one release. I guess that's not exclusive to any console though. It happens when the game first comes out. And like this game just looks so beautiful that I don't want to get like hung up on anything like that where it's like, oh, I'm getting bad frames in this like situation or something. And it's very like nitpicky, but like the excitement of what the game is, it probably I'll just overlook that, and I'm so excited to see like Keanu in there and just like the characters, the world that CD Projekt Red, CD Projekt.
Yeah.
Oh man, CD Projekt Red. There we go. They're just so good at like world building. Obviously, Witcher 3. It's like one of my favorite games of the decade for sure, and I'm just so excited to see like this cyberpunk aesthetic. It's just very Blade Runner-esque, even though I haven't seen the new one, but I just like that, like, I don't know what you'd call it, that world. The game mechanics look awesome. The character creation looks amazing. Like, it's just, there's so many positives in it that like the negatives that I was kind of like, they might not even happen, but like for me, just having some experience with that in the past, it kind of has me thrown up. I wouldn't say a red flag, maybe a yellow flag, but I'm just so excited for this game that I probably will still get it a day one. I'm probably lying to myself like Travis is.
Yeah, because you are also a big Witcher 3 fan.
Yeah, exactly. And like what Dylan said, I just want to be in the conversation with this game. Like, it's just, I'm so excited to find out what's going on with the story and the world and just all these side characters, side quests, all these different like decisions that you can make. I imagine it's not too linear where it's like you can I don't know, like I guess like what Witcher is, you can make a decision and then you totally don't even experience like a part of the game because you made that decision. And I'm really excited to just like not only experience those things but also talk to like friends like you guys, and then I'm imagine we'll do a review for it to like see the different path that your game went because you made a different decision.
True.
I love games like that, so I'm hyped.
Yeah,
I'm hyped.
I feel like for of the big releases of this year, like Final Fantasy VII could be weird because it's like only part of the game, or like, you know, another one we're talking about has some red flags. I feel like this one's just gonna be a really, really good game.
Yeah.
I feel like there's such a small chance that it's not.
Or
I feel like it's gonna be relevant. I feel like it'll be a Game of the Year nominee, like regardless.
Yeah. Or
it's
this is CD's big bust, and everyone's like, "Oh man, they really
you imagine
with that one, right?" You know, Rockstar has LA Noire. Don't forget about it.
Like, there's a reason it's The Witcher 3, right? There was 2 Witcher games before that no one ever talks about.
Exactly.
So,
So that's why if that's one thing that if reviews came out and there's a lot of 7s, I'd want to hear the conversation, but then I would be like, I can wait for this. So that's why just because they've made one great masterful game, anyone can sidestep. Like I said, GTA 4 came out and then LA Noire, and it was like, LA Noire, what happened here? So
that's
it always happens. So
I'm really curious where Taylor is on this one.
Nowhere near buying it, I guess.
Is it a day one
smile.
purchase for me? No, probably not.
Is it a year one purchase?
It's not a year one purchase.
Wow.
Not a day one purchase.
Yeah, I didn't.
And
think
I'm
so.
not lying to myself like Travis and Kirkland in this sense. Like,
Whoa.
for me, like the
Call it out.
Yeah.
boys.
Bunch of liars you are.
the game, you know, it looks awesome, it looks interesting, but it doesn't have enough that I feel like I need to be there day one to be playing it. It's something I do want to try and I want to experience
Keanu?
with. Yeah, Keanu, I definitely want to, get to know his character and what's going
I
on.
wanna get
But
to
like,
know him a little bit.
it's not a game that I feel like, I gotta get on board with this. It's something that I know I can wait a little bit and probably wait till maybe it goes on sale or something. Who knows? I'm not like festering to jump into this world.
I'm glad
and-
you're not
and try
festering.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Get you the doctor.
Seriously.
yeah,
The
but
disease
I'm
patronizing.
excited to see what it's like and
Fair
see
enough.
the
Cool.
world. So
Hey man, you're entitled to your opinion.
Everyone has those big games that are huge, and you're like, I don't care about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
Here's one that I feel like Taylor might be lying to himself, but April 24th, Predator Hunting Grounds,
Oh, he's
PS4.
such
I don't know why you guys
He's
think I
gonna be
want
from the
breaking-
this
team that
game.
made Friday the 13th.
I'm going to tell you this story why. Because all the way up into Spider-Man PS4 was coming out, Taylor gave this weird-ass excuse like, oh, I got Spider-Man on the PS2. I don't need the PS4
I got
one.
Spider-Man on the PS2.
Yeah, that's what you would say. Spider-Man 2 on the PS2. So you'd be like, oh, you
I
that.
said PS2.
No, you did. You'd always show the image. You'd send like the cover.
I have
There's
it on GameCube.
whatever it is.
Oh, Travis.
Whatever it
It's
is.
extreme.
You always have Spider-Man 2 and you throw that up like, okay, this like almost 2-decade-year-old game versus this new great game. Fine, fair enough. And then one time Dylan at a party and we were playing it and Taylor got the remote and he's playing Spider-Man. And then I overheard a conversation with Taylor, one of his friends, and he went, oh, this is great. I wish it was on Xbox. So that's why I don't believe for a second. I think every night Taylor is smacking himself in the face being like, I want Predator. I want Predator. I don't believe him for a second that because anytime there's like a fucking look at this book, guys, he'll send us an image and none of us care about like, oh, this is why the Predator's toes are shaped like that. And we're like, great, Taylor. But when a game comes out where it's like Friday the 13th, a game that he loves comes out and it's Predator based, and he's like, nah, I'm done. I have my Predator fix the video games. That's the biggest bullshit thing Taylor's ever said in his life. So at some point he's gonna sneak over and want to play it. This game looked lots of fun. If it's like Friday the 13th, I'm a Predator fan, not as much as Taylor, but I'm a Predator fan. I will likely get it, especially if it's not a full price game, but it looks like lots of fun. It looks really cool, so I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I have too much to add. I'm not as big of a Predator guy. Friday the 13th was a fun game, but I don't think like the quality of that game was enough to say, hey, I got to buy this day one by any means.
Hopefully it's better launch than Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
Not the
but
hour loading
I will say
screens.
I'm happy, like, because it sounded like kind of an unfortunate scenario that team lost the license for Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Sounds like they kind of wanted to keep working on it.
They did. They had so much
Yeah.
DLC planned. They just can't do it for legal reasons.
Yeah,
So
so
that
that's
sucks.
too bad. So I'm glad that they found their footing with another big IP, and hopefully they can retain this one a little bit better, or they have something more in writing that will guarantee that they can keep this one for a bit longer.
What a story those guys had. They're working on a camping murder game. Friday the 13th team comes to them and says, let's put the IP on that. They make that, yeah, it has some problems, but lots of people love that game and talk about that game.
Yep.
It's a fun game. And then they get the Predator. Like, good job for those guys, because like they've had a
Yeah.
good ascension. Like you said, like
Yeah.
they got another IP that this, I think, works very well. Predator movies are about you in the jungle versus this thing. That's perfect for what they do. So I'm happy for
Yeah.
that team.
Do we think this is a timed exclusive? Because Friday the 13th was on everything, right?
Yeah, I bet so. I bet I could see at least a
Or
year.
was it Sony that was like, okay, we're gonna get this studio to make this game for us, and we're gonna put it on just our console. We're gonna pay for
Maybe.
the license, whatever it
See
is.
what a search might do. But
Yeah.
I bet it's timed. I bet it's not full in. Taylor will get his day in the sun, maybe in the Xbox X
And he's gonna
series.
silently play
Yeah,
it.
he's gonna. We're gonna go over one day. It's gonna be like on his thing, and we're like, "Oh, what's this? Oh, I got it for free."
100
Don't worry."
hours? Oh,
Yeah,
you've
yeah,
been playing?
exactly. He hasn't seen Madison in a month because he's still playing Predator Hunting Grounds.
Yeah, so this game, I'm pretty excited for it. I know you were gonna say something, but I
It was
cut you
awkward
off.
silence. I didn't know what to do.
I'm pretty excited for it. I really like Friday the 13th. I played with Travis a couple times, and we had a lot of fun on that. So, and just a couple like issues that they had with the game, like those long loading screens. Hopefully, they kind of learn from their, I don't know, you could call it a mistake or just learning experience from that, and hopefully it's just a little bit smoother in this game, because I'm a big fan of the Predators. I think they're sick. I think it'll be awesome playing as them, like against. I don't, because I wasn't the biggest fan of playing as Jason. I don't know. It was very different of I don't know. I guess I just like playing as the mouse in the cat and mouse chase game. So that was me personally. But the Predator just seems like they have some really cool tools, and who doesn't want to be a badass Predator swinging through the trees, right, Taylor?
Apparently
With your
not Taylor.
thermal?
Yeah,
Badass
apparently
Predator
not.
in the
Yeah.
tree.
He's gonna be doing a
Greatest
Mission
character of all time.
Creek
Yeah.
though, while the game's out April 25th. He's gonna be.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm excited for it. Hopefully, I could see it being a little bit cheaper, because I believe Friday the 13th was like a $40, $50 game when
I think
it came out.
was. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
then they eventually had it on PS Plus for free.
yeah, exactly. So hopefully they run the same lines that they had on that one. So I'm pretty excited for it. I don't want to say it's a day one purchase. Like
Yeah.
if it comes out and it's really buggy, and be like maybe
Yeah.
wait till they.
I almost
patch
feel
it
like
and
that's a
stuff.
game they should put on PS Plus or PS Now or something, like near close to launch, just
Yeah.
to get like a bunch of player base for it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying that because I don't want to spend money on it. I'd like to play it, but
if it's PS
Maybe that'd
Plus,
be a good
like if it's a
route.
full price, which I couldn't imagine myself buying a full price
No.
game on like this, and I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine them releasing a full price. But
True.
you never know. But I don't know if they had it like $60 but $40 PS Plus. I don't know, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
You could definitely see that.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I don't know if it's day one just because of the time frame, but I think it's kind of year one for me. And especially too, if people are playing and really enjoying it, then I'm down.
Yeah, totally.
Taylor Field, you want to defend? You want to lie to the viewers about how you
Lie
don't want to
through
play
your
this game?
teeth.
I don't know why Travis is just on this train of.
Because I
me.
told you the story. You spent a year trashing Spider-Man PS4, and then it's really good. I wish I
I don't
could
think
play
I was
it.
ever trashing Spider-Man.
You kind
4.
of were. You're like, it looks fine. You never,
Well, it looks fine. That's a compliment.
I think at the E3 too, when they showed it, you're like, yeah, the E3 conference. There's nothing special in that conference, Hoity-toity. Taylor
Predator
Field.
Hunting Grounds.
Yeah.
Mr.
Predator
Field.
Hunting Grounds. So yeah, for me, like, I've watched the gameplay for it and all that, and it looks very interesting, and it definitely has a fan base for it, so that's good. But
He's lying. You
I
didn't
like
look at him.
it's nothing new for me to suit up as a predator and literally go out and hunting. In Alien vs Predator, the one that came out in 2010, that one it has like the 3 campaigns.
And it has a
humans,
really
aliens,
active
Predator.
online community. in 2019, 2020.
In 2010? Well, no, not not anymore. It's
So
only
you can't play that
community.
game anymore. So you can't do that anymore.
Multiplayer? No, no, you can't. But like, if I wanted to play as Predator, I could even go out and get Call of Duty Ghosts because that has DLC where you can play as Predator, in
Which
one of
has
the
a
maps.
very
Did you
active
say Call
online
of Duty
community.
Ghosts?
Yeah, Call of Duty Ghosts has
Was
a
that, was that
Predator
your
DLC.
least favorite?
It is my least favorite. Because the Predator thing, it didn't even sell me on that. But like my
And
best,
that game has tens of players in 2020.
Yeah,
like,
tons.
tons.
my favorite Predator experience was playing it in Alien vs Predator 2010 when you're just jumping through the trees and you get this whole awesome arsenal of weapons and you're like ripping the spines out of your opponents and stuff. But like I played as a Predator once and like I don't know this game.
I'm not buying it.
I don't know. It's just it's not. It looks like for certain weapons it's a little clunky and not as smooth. I get that Friday the 13th kind of vibe looking at certain aspects, and that doesn't work for a Predator. Predator shouldn't be heavy and chunky. They or clunky either in the
Heavy
gameplay.
and chunky.
Yeah, they should be quick, agile, smooth. There should be a seamless
Not those extreme
transition.
predators though, or what are those? Those
The berserkers.
hybrids. You know, those
Super
are
predator.
chunky. Yeah,
Berserker
super
predators.
predator. You know.
They sway when they walk.
Yeah, I wonder
Yeah.
if you can do that as an emote, just like the big pimpin' thing from
But
whatever that movie was last year.
you know, if it's a timed
P90.
exclusive, I could see myself maybe trying it out.
Oh, maybe trying it out.
So-
Such a liar.
We'll see if Dylan throws
Yeah, like how
another
he's
party.
calling you guys out for lying about Cyberpunk and like, here he is, just lying through the
If
teeth.
Dylan throws another party, maybe I'll pop it on and try
I
it.
get-
I'm not buying this game.
I guarantee you,
talking
know,
about?
if I had it and day when I texted Taylor and said, "Hey, you want to come try it out for a few hours?" He would drop everything he's doing now. He'd leave Madison at the mall and drive over just to get that Predator.
No.
Yeah, I think
He'd
so.
be like, oh, perfect, my class got canceled. You skip
Yeah.
class.
I'm
for
gonna be
first.
playing Animal Crossing.
I should do that and then have a video like camera ready as proof. You know.
Him
What's
come
next?
screeching into his
yeah,
driveway.
yeah,
Sorry.
like Kramer.
My throat is still messed up. This is a savage. Cold I've been fighting April 24th. This one I don't think you guys have anything to add on. But Trials of Mana. It's another JRPG kind of in the realm of what the Dragon Quest game is that released in the summer of 2019. Looked really cool to me. I love the art style, just very, very bright and colorful. Looks like fun. Looks like a really like honorable remake of a classic. I didn't end up getting Dragon Quest. I probably won't end up getting this one just because of the time frame. But I just think it looked really cool, and I wanted to shout it out.
I'll be doing the trials of getting in shape at that point. So nope.
Cool guy over here. I will check
Cool
on you. I
guy.
go to the
Oh,
gym.
yeah.
Oh.
I haven't
Big
gone to the
buff.
gym in a week because I've been sick as fuck and I hate it.
Yeah, you don't want to be.
Could have been.
you
Should
know,
have been
getting your-
smooching Dylan.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a cover story.
that was
Show me that
You're
gift.
smooching my cousin Cliff. Or
Cliff.
He's
Little
smooching
Mo
everybody.
with the gimpy leg.
He's lying.
Al Mo. All right.
Tommy gun don't.
This game is coming out in April, but doesn't have a set date. But Minecraft Dungeons is kind of like a Diablo style.
I forgot about that.
Diablo style like dungeon crawler loot gathering game in with the Minecraft like art style and world, I guess. It looks pretty cool. If this goes on Game Pass, which it might because it's Microsoft owns Minecraft, I think this is coming to every console. But if they do put it on Game Pass, I would definitely download and play it. But I don't know if I need this game. Like,
Yeah.
I love Minecraft, like amazing game, and
but not that much.
But yeah, like I don't know if it's got like a unique enough world necessarily to for me to want to. Oh, I need to go get that diamond armor set. I need to
Yeah.
grind for that. Like I don't know. I think it's a cool game. I think it's great that like Minecraft. I mean, it's such a popular thing. They did like the Telltale series. I think that
Yeah.
was cool. And I think this is just another way that they're like, hey, let's take that Minecraft brand and put it into another genre. So it seems like fun, but I don't know. From the footage I saw of it, it just didn't look like as in depth as maybe I'd want or something. But yeah, as I said, if it's on Game Pass, I'll definitely download it. And
yeah,
try it
two
out.
things. I won't play this, and second, I think it will be on Game Pass. I'm highly confident, just because it feels
Yeah.
like they put every fucking thing on Game Pass. I think they're gonna put the entire Xbox Series X. If you own Game Pass, they're gonna ship it to you.
Yeah,
So
true.
I bet it will be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything to add? Bruce?
I'm not too interested in it. I was never like, I don't know, fallen in love with Minecraft. It was fun. I played a few hours of it, but
Yeah.
never got fully sunk into it. I think it's cool that they're doing this because obviously Minecraft it's still like one of the most like highest selling game like to this day, which is pretty crazy to me.
Mhm.
So obviously there's a lot of people that love this. They sell merch for it. They had like that Netflix like choose your own adventure
Yeah.
like movie. They had Telltale, like they're just making this like
Little
like,
brand.
yeah,
and just
exactly.
Kids
growing
love it,
yeah.
man.
no, exactly. So I don't know. I don't see this doing like terrible because I feel like there's just so many people that play Minecraft
People
that
will buy it for
this will
sure.
definitely
And I believe
scratch
it is
someone's
coming in
itch.
everything, even though they're owned by Microsoft.
Yeah.
I think they're just putting everything because they'll make more
Yeah.
money that way.
Yeah.
Get that money.
But like I do like dungeon crawler games, but unfortunately for me, I feel like same thing you said. It's just like, oh, the best thing you can get is like a shiny
Yeah.
diamond armor
Like I
set.
feel like I'd
It's
rather just
eh.
wait for Diablo 4,
Yeah,
even though
exactly.
it's like 2 years away. you
Yeah.
know?
exactly. So, or go back and play Diablo 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Minecraft. I've never played it. I've always kind of boycotted it, I guess,
Ooh.
and not for any bad reasons. I remember in high school, all like in the computer lab, all these other kids would secretly play Minecraft, and it just bothered me. I was like,
You'd
What is
report
your
them.
deal?
we should be doing work.
Did
right
you report
now.
them?
Oh
You're-
my god.
You're like
fucking
Randall.
Peter.
He's like Randall
Yeah.
from
Fuck
Recess.
you.
I'm watching
Did you
that show.
did you rat
actually.
them out?
No,
Miss
because
Finster, Miss Finster.
That's such a great show.
He wouldn't rat them out, but he'd be like, I don't think everyone's working. And then he'd go back to her. He wouldn't specifically say names or what they're doing, but that's what he would say.
No, the
I'd
teacher
hate to go to school with you
teacher
right
had
now.
everyone's computer monitors on his screen, so he could see.
He was
all of
probably
our
also playing
activities.
Minecraft.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But no, I
Selling
Like, Taylor,
diamonds.
shut up.
Like,
Role play.
playing with the students and
Yeah.
everything. Well, Taylor's the
It's,
only one doing actual work.
it never really could rope me in as a game. It was never
But
my
you said
kind
you
of
boycotted
thing.
and didn't play it. So what is like? That's unfair to
Well, because
say.
it never. Yeah, I boycotted it because it never wrote me in either. So just I never could give it the time of day that I like. I
Jesus.
never wanted to get into it. And
Okay, that's fine.
it's that being said, like I do enjoy watching like gameplay videos of people building these amazing creations like
Yeah,
Minas
yeah.
Tirith and all that
Okay,
stuff.
we get it. You don't like Minecraft. What about Minecraft Dungeons?
Minecraft Dungeons?
boycotted.
I mean, if I'm
Are
gonna
you
play
boycotting
like
this one too?
probably,
Yes.
I mean, if I'm gonna play like Dungeon Crawler, I feel like I'd probably play other dungeon crawlers.
But if you have Games Pass, it's free. You could try it.
well, I have Minecraft and it's free,
Okay,
but
that's fair.
I'd probably play Rocket League over this. So
He's gonna come home ass and
Yeah.
we'll be playing. And
Shout out to Rocket
I
League.
can't believe it.
I wonder what Rocket League's team ups, what kind of team ups they're going to do in 2020. Excited to see. Let's hop into May with May 15th, The Avengers, Marvel's Avengers. Where are we thinking on that one, guys? I mean, this has been like one of those ones I feel like we take our temperature every couple months on it, and it's just not. It's never a nice safe temperature.
No.
Where are we feeling right now on this
This is an
day,
interesting
January
game because I
5th?
feel like ever since it got announced, my hype level is kind of just slightly decreased.
Mm.
Like the closer we
Just
get
a little
to
bit.
it, and that's not a terrible thing, but it's not a good thing
Mm.
either. I don't know. I feel like some of the characters they've shown, they haven't like scratched my itch in the best way. I like not saying it's a bad thing. It's just it hasn't got me overly hyped on it.
Mhm.
The gameplay, it didn't look like a AAA game to me personally.
The very few gameplay.
Yeah, the
we've
very
seen.
few
Yeah.
gameplay that we saw, but like at the same time, I think it would be fun to play with friends. But like, to what extent? I don't know. I feel like we haven't been shown enough to get my hype level up for it. But
Right.
again, it could be a fun ensemble game. I don't know. What are
really
you guys
could.
feeling?
Oh man, I desperately want it to be really good.
Me
I'd love
too.
to play
Yeah,
it
me
with-
too.
Get all the PS4 boys on there. Taylor would buy a PS4 as well in my
Yeah.
ideal world.
crossplay, right?
They haven't
I
said that with
wish.
this.
I wish
Aw.
that'd be cool, but yeah, I mean that's just the thing. That's what I really want to do with it, but it sounds like that's not necessarily the focus. It sounds like
Yeah.
you can also do
Yeah.
co-op, but that's not how the game was built. You know, there's nothing wrong with a single player game, but I think when it's really Avengers based, it's based around that teamwork. I want to have that be like a focus or be integrated into the whole game. Like Ultimate Alliance, it's a fun game to play single player, but you can do the whole thing from the beginning in 4-player multiplayer
Yeah.
if you want to, or online. So I don't know. I wish this game was a little bit more focused on that, but really with this game, it's always just like, what are they going to show next? And I need to see a little bit more gameplay. And
They've been
I don't know.
silent for a long
They have been very
time.
silent,
They
yeah.
couldn't stop talking for a while, and I feel that and that's where I feel. I'm very scared for this game. You can go back. We have an E3 reaction. We were all really hyped on it just because there'd been so much build up. Like there's an Avengers
We've
game
been
being
waiting
made.
to see it.
Yeah, and there was all these characters being shown and cool stuff other than Cap's gross looking suit. But I don't know what this game is. I don't know if this is a bad game, so they're trying to hide it with messaging, or it's a good game and their messaging team just sucks ass. Because I've seen paths to both ways. I've seen things like, as far as we talked about, like little things, when they're like, look at all these costumes, and we've seen ones, or we've seen even leaked ones where people take pictures. Those look great, and there's some really like fan service, like they're doing like the Hydra Captain America. Like it feels like fans are making this game, which is
Yeah.
a good thing. And another positive I've always said is I think the story's gonna be great. Anything I've seen cinematic wise, I like the themes of the teams broken apart. Miss Marvel's bring them all together. So story stuff all looks good, and like I said, some fan stuff looks good. Gameplay honestly looks like it could be very basic, but I can deal with that as long as there's kind of some fun fandom and a good story. But I don't know what the story of this game is going to be. It's been, like Dylan said, it was like, oh, it's an online game. And then like, well, that's a portion of it. They've never been really clear. So I hope the next time they come out, they can really hit home what it is. I think this is a game I will be buying just because out of curiosity and also just because Marvel's our biggest brand on this podcast. So it's something I want to cover for the podcast.
Yeah.
But it's one that I want to buy it, but I hope I don't regret spending $60, $80 in when I could have been playing more time with Cyberpunk or more time with another game coming up.
I guess
so.
that's where the promise of continued content updates for free on top of it.
And that could be fun if done well.
That's where it's like makes it maybe a little more justifiable.
Yeah,
but.
so I want to believe. Do I right now? No, but if I had a gun to my head, I think this is going to be the best is a lot of 7 out of 10s in my opinion. But hey, Marvel Ultimate Alliance got a lot of 7 out of 10s and I fucking love that game. So if we can hit those buttons of being just like a, like chicken soup for the Marvel fan soul,
right?
I'm good, because what next? What comic book game is out next? Batman's going to come out when my kids are fucking 50. Superman game apparently doesn't exist. So it's like there's nothing else on the board,
Iron Man
right?
VR.
Yeah, and that comes out before, right? So it's like I guess Spider-Man 2 will be the next one, right, in a few years. So I hope this hits so we kind of keep going on this path of good video games for Marvel. So
I hope it does well.
I think it will sell well no matter what. People will buy it, either just little jimmies with I want Avengers or out of curiosity. I think sales-wise, they got no problem. Avengers is the biggest brand in the world right now, so they're fine there.
Yeah, I agree. I really want to like this game, and I really want to buy this game on release. So hopefully they can put those last nails in the coffin and get me in there. But
looks like it's definitely a game that's for select people out there. Me personally, I'm not completely sold on this game. I feel like if you're doing an Avengers game, it should be done. Go big or go home. Yeah,
True.
And
or go to Wakanda.
I feel like this one is just in between. Not like it doesn't blow me away. There's nothing special about it. I don't know. I also feel like maybe I'm just biased, but I want Ghost Rider too for like a
very
superhero.
Biased. I don't know why
Very
you'd want that
biased.
in an Avengers game. He's not a primary member of the Avengers.
Oh, he will be.
And this game was
He's
called
like the
Midnight.
Cap. He's like the new
if
main
this game was
guy.
called Midnight Suns, I get it, but it's called the Avengers, and they
If
were
they were to
specifically like,
do-
we're gonna have few heroes in this game.
If they did a
so.
Midnight Suns game, then fucking
Well,
sign me up.
they're
But
not
you
gonna-
know,
that'd be cool.
For now, though, I feel like I'm not impressed with how they were advertising this game. There's nothing in it that's really like selling me or catching my attention. And I mean, I love Marvel's Ultimate Alliance. I think that's a great like linear kind of story, just kind of a little bit from everything, and it just builds this awesome, fun, ranking system game where you play as all these heroes from Marvel. And
Simple beat 'em up. Yeah.
it's simple, and this seems very simple, but in a bland way. I would prefer,
You're not wrong.
I want that the level and the quality of like Lego superheroes where it's a big city and you can pick your hero and just do missions and stuff like that. But this just seems again kind of bland.
Yeah.
And if it's on Game Pass, I'll try it. I
will not
just
be on Game
hope
Pass
I
right
don't
away.
get disappointed like a Jump Force scenario. So we'll
Well, let's
see.
hope. Yeah, let's hope no Jump Force. No, that won't be Games Pass right away. That'd be a few years. They're gonna try and milk that
Disney
for.
Plus.
They're gonna Disney Plus.
Yeah.
You get a game. That'd be great. That'd
Yeah.
be so cool if you could start getting games with your Disney Plus subscription. But they're gonna milk that game for quite a while, and they're gonna make sure content's out for whenever Avengers 5 comes out. And
Yeah, exactly. And that's one as well. Like anytime there's a new trailer, whatever drops, I'm sure we'll be talking about on the cast.
Oh, yeah.
so
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Stay
you can
tuned.
be rest assured. Here's one that probably none of you are interested necessarily, but May 19th is Wasteland 3. Just looks like a really interesting survival strategy game. I really like the look of it. Seems like it fits into the kind of games I'm into. It's also very snowy, so I feel like this is a game that I might pick up around like wintertime of 2020. So, a long time after it comes out, because May is just a tricky time for me to buy this other full price game when there's other stuff. So
What consoles is it on?
I believe everything.
So
Well, maybe
Switch?
not Switch, but
Oh, I was
probably
gonna
like your
say,
Xbox,
Curl
your
up
PlayStation.
to the fire with your Switch and play Wasteland 3.
Yeah. That's
in
the
the
dream.
winter. Yeah.
That's the dream. Maybe it is. Who knows?
Yeah.
I could be.
Is it like a top-down shooter or something?
Yeah, it's. I think it's like kind of like isometric, like on a grid somewhat. So kind
Yeah.
of a little Fire Emblem-esque, more like
I see.
XCOM, I guess.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, but I think more survival based at the same time.
Cool.
Not too sure because I haven't played the other Wastelands, but it looks fun. Here's kind of the last big heavy hitter with an actual set in stone date, but May 29th recently pushed back, but it should be coming out then. Last of Us Part 2. Where are you guys feeling on this one?
I'll eat it because this is a day one for me. This is, I think, first one I've said before, so I'm broken record, is probably arguably at least greatest video game story of all time. This is one that I always get worried about. It's kind of like Guardians 2 or kind of like Wonder Woman when we talk about the movie preview, the sequel coming up, when so many people love that first one. It did so well. How do you follow that up? So I think they have a tough thing. But I actually trust them quite a bit with the trailers we've seen. I think Ellie being the main character is a good shift. I think Joel either on the outside or as a ghost is a good shift. So, and I've loved every cinematic trailer. So this is a day one just because the story for me. It's not, again, like I said, I'm not a gameplay guy, so the kind of basic gameplay doesn't bug me. It's the story, but also in the gameplay world sense that there's some, conveniences with certain blocks being placed, but it's also just the environment. When you're walking around, you always feel like you're on eggshells. You always feel like the worst could happen in a second. And it's, to me, the best of like what The Walking Dead tried to do with that intensity of someone could die at any moment. That's what this does. But then also you just love those characters. Joel and Ellie are some of the best video game, most fleshed out. They're really well performance and acted. So this is a game, because when is it again? It's not it's just
May
May
29th.
right? Yeah, that's the thing that bugs me about Avengers. That's the thing. Avengers just gets destroyed in reviews, like lots of like if it's failing marks, then I will skip it. Even if it's for the cast, I'll say, hey, sorry, like it's just so much money that I'd rather put time into that to a Last of Us review. So that's the only thing. But Avengers better be good, because I'll dump it pretty quickly to jump on Last of Us, because I think it's gonna be great. I think you're gonna hear lots of Game of the Years and stuff like that, lots of awards for story and everything like that. So I think along with Cyberpunk, that's like 1A and 1B is like who's gonna at the end of the year. Maybe they both suck and it's something completely different, but I feel like this is a God of War versus Red Dead situation where the whole year people are gonna talk about Cyberpunk's like really cool gameplay and unique world, but then Last of Us is gonna have that great story. So very excited, and I think PlayStation, it's a good way. I know we have Ghosts probably still coming out later on, but I think this is the real send-off for the PS4 for Sony fanboys like myself, so I can't wait.
Yeah, because it is a more established like Sony brand.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Ghosts is from a reputable Sony brand.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've yet to beat the first game.
Surprise.
So obviously I won't be touching this until that's happened, which
You downloaded it, right?
I imagine, yeah, it's downloaded.
It was on PS Plus there a couple months ago.
Yeah, exactly. And actually I think I bought it like before that. It was like $5.
I think you did.
So
yeah.
not too bad, but still a little grain of salt in my mouth about that one. But no, honestly, it's worth $5, so it's worth full price. I loved it. I think the game's amazing. Came on PS3, which I actually didn't know of until like last year.
Yeah,
swear.
it was like the last.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
which is
funny.
crazy. And like I said, I probably won't get it day one. Unless I beat this one and just fall in love with it, which I am really liking it, but I don't know, maybe I just didn't get it like when it first came out and like everyone's hype around it, like it's a little bit died down, so maybe that's the reason, who knows. But I can honestly see myself just getting this on PS5 if they do a remake similar to what they did for the first game.
Likely.
Because honestly, like playing the remake, I feel like it's one of the best looking games, like compared to even just games that come out in like 2018 on like PS4. Like it's just, they did such a good job on it. The storyline's amazing. I was literally like in tears on like the opening mission. Like it's just so good, and like
pretty intense.
if games can do that, like I tip my hat to them. Like it's such a good job, and obviously it's gonna be, I feel like it's gonna be Game of the Year contender, like no matter what. It's just,
I think if it doesn't, it's considered a disappointment. Even if it gets great reviews and people are like, oh, it's a step down, it'll be labeled as, Last of Us 2 really didn't handle the weight of the first one. So
no, totally. But I will play it eventually, but it's tough to say if it's day one just because I haven't beaten the first game.
Last of Us is a super tricky one for me because I just hate the gameplay in the first one. Just doesn't do it for me at all. And I feel like I'm in a weird camp for a lot of games like God of War, Red Dead Redemption 2. Like I just don't care about some of these games. Like I'm sure that they look great, and I'm sure they are great, and I'm fine with them winning all these awards. But I just know personally I'm just not interested in them, and I feel like that's gonna be Last of Us Part 2 for me, just because I really hate the gameplay in the first one. And then from people who have played, like, because a bunch of people got to play it in November or October, something like that. They had like some event where a bunch of people got to play it, and I heard kind of the same thing where people were like, yeah, the gameplay is not great. It's kind of the same sort of thing. There's a couple improvements, but it's still not standing up there super strongly. So I think for me, that's probably going to be one that I pass on. Also, just because it is that tricky period where there's so many other games to play. And I think I'm fine for that one not being in the conversation. Because I also think that one, much like Cyberpunk, is, well, I guess Cyberpunk is a new thing. It's kind of unknown, but I think Last of Us is probably the most known variable here in terms of these big games, right? Where people know what to expect and be another great story. I'm guessing you don't have much to add, Mr. Field.
I have the first Last of Us. I really, really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. And the storyline, yeah, like you said, that opening mission just
Oh.
totally sets the tone
Hits
for
ya.
the rest of what to expect, and it's just an absolutely amazing aesthetic and storyline, which you really fall with these characters and everything. And I really would love to try the second one. I'm really curious to see how things go with
Yeah.
the storyline, and I never expected like I didn't think we would get a sequel because yeah, the first one I felt like it was just like a good like kind of end off on like PS3 and just, but I mean at the end of the day it doesn't surprise me. I'm happy that there is one because I think Naughty Dog is just legendary with their games. Like I'm a huge
Pretty
Uncharted
popular,
fan,
yeah.
so I'm very excited just to see how this does.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, we don't have nothing really has like an official date, but
Classic video games. Yeah.
classic video games. But here's a couple things from spring. One is Grounded. That's from Obsidian. That's kind of the Honey I Shrunk the Kids sort of game where you're in the backyard building stuff and you're a tiny little dude. I think this game looks like a lot of fun. I think it's on game. It's going to be on Game Pass day one. It's a Microsoft exclusive. So I'm super excited for this game. Not like obviously I like Obsidian because of their RPGs, but I also just love that like kind of Ant-Man aesthetic of like playing as like this tiny thing, and I feel like that's like Smash Bros originally. Like I love that opening cinematic where it's just like all these toys that fighting on like a table. So I'm really excited for this game. I hope it's kind of cross platforms so me and Taylor can play it on Game Pass, and I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it is, if they haven't already confirmed, probably going to be a exclusive on day one. I mean, Outer Worlds was, so I can't imagine Grounded wouldn't be. So that looks like fun. And then Ultimate Alliance Fantastic Four DLC, they have said is spring 2020. They've stuck to their dates they've announced before, so I have to imagine that's coming out sometime. When do you guys think that's going to happen?
If they're
Before,
smart,
after Avengers, close to Avengers? Like, do they want to separate? Do they care at all?
After Avengers, I think if they're smart, even put it around Black Widow time. They have nothing to do with each other, but it's still just nice to ride that Marvel hype if anyone's smart there. But they've been proving their marketing's off the wall. But yeah, I think it'll be after the Avengers game, and I think it's gonna be really good. I
Might be like the send-off DLC, the last
I
update
hope,
of the game.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope we get the Smash treatment where they go,
I
we're
hope
going to
so
make some
too,
more, but I just don't think it's a big enough game. So, but either way, I'm excited. I'm not a big Fantastic Four fan, but I'm a mega Doctor Doom fan, and all signs point to Doom being that fifth character. So,
True.
Sign me up. I cannot wait to get Victor Von Doom back in my hands.
Yep, I'm fucking loving this game still. Have
Oh, yeah.
get a couple more stars in X-Men DLC, but I just love it so much. You don't have the DLC?
I don't have
pack,
any
do
of the DLCs yet. I don't even have Thanos yet, so I feel like I should have
Yeah.
all this. All
Well,
like,
you
the
gotta
characters
you gotta switch
before.
with like a few games. I feel like so you just have so much to like,
yeah.
trudge
No,
through.
absolutely. So I do. I just need like a couple months
Yeah.
off or something to
Oh,
just sink in. But
Head over to Patreon.
out of everyone in that lineup, I feel like I'd be most excited with Von Doom and maybe Invisible Woman. I don't know.
Yeah.
She was pretty cool. She had
Yeah.
a cool moveset in number 2,
Two,
I think
yeah.
it was. I mean, she's in both of them, but I think in number 2 she had a really cool moveset, if
Very
I
Yeah.
can remember
second
correctly.
one.
But obviously, like if I had the other DLCs, I'd probably be a lot more hyped on. I'm honestly just still hyped to like get into those other DLCs.
Yeah.
Like
You can wait till
get
it's all
Morbius
done
and
then,
stuff.
and then get it
Yeah,
all.
get the
I find it
package.
funny that Morbius is always the guy you shout out because that's the one where like most of the fans are just like, "Fuck Morbius."
I think
Why
it's
did he
just-
take other characters' slot?
I don't get that. I like Morbius a lot, to be honest.
He's got a great design.
Yeah.
I think it's for me. It's just such a weird question mark of like I can't believe he's just in the game in
Yeah.
the first place. So I just can't wait to get my hands on him and start
He has a
playing.
movie coming out, man.
That's
They
true.
got to pump him out.
Yeah.
Are you excited for this one, Mr. Field?
Yes, I am. I've been actually itching for some Fantastic Four stuff for a while now. I was going through Disney Plus and like, oh, there's that shit movie, but
Which one?
You mean
the
all of
shit
them?
one.
Yeah.
No, not all of them. The
'Cause they're all
original
sh-
ones
they're-
are fantastic.
all
I
shit-
love Silver
they're all
Surfer.
shit
It's one of my
movies.
favorite movies
Oh,
with Doctor
you
Doom.
would like the second one.
I like the original.
The original one's super good.
Yeah.
Chris Evans in there. Come on.
But
Classic.
Like Captain America.
the DLC though, I'm very excited for this. I'm thinking I don't know if it's gonna be Von Doom. I'm thinking maybe they're gonna throw in Thane as a playable character. Maybe.
No, they
that'd be
won't.
my.
They would have
pitch.
done that already.
Yeah.
The only other one
Unless
I
he's
would
a
think of is
free-
like Silver Surfer.
Yeah,
but-
I don't think they'd make him a paid character just because they did that with Cyclossus, right? Like if there was a character that's already in the game, they just put him for free, which I think
Yeah.
is a good thing to do. You don't want people to like pay for something they feel like
Yeah.
they're entitled to. Already.
That is my
Silver Surfer's a
worry.
good idea.
Yeah, Silver Surfer is still in play. I don't think it's a like I think all the signs point to Doom, but I don't think it's 100% because they've both been
I feel
in
like
one
they'd save
game.
Surfer for Galactus, though, wouldn't they?
I just think how would you work Galactus in, right, of the story?
That's what I'm
Like,
saying. Like, because it's not Galactus, I don't think it'll be Surfer.
Yeah, I hope. I agree with you. I just worry because I really want
The
Doom.
DLC, if you don't know, is called like Return of Doom or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
of Doom.
Yeah,
So
so
his name's in there.
I hope
It's a literal name drop.
I hope it's Doom, but Silver Surfer's still in play, and I would like him, but I feel like he play a lot like Iceman, where he'd
Yeah.
always be on the board, and I don't know if I want that. So
I
that
want to
could be
like
interesting.
Ghost Rider, where it's like you're special, and he's like, "Let's ride," and he like
Let's
swoops in on
ride.
his board over the enemies.
You're
That'd
gonna
be
do a
so
bunch
good.
of synergies with those two if that happens.
Oh
I
yeah.
would be a little bummed, but I wouldn't be like mega bummed. But I definitely still want Doom. So
Yeah, I will say there's a couple of some data mine leaks. I don't know how reputable these really are, but people leading to believe that there is going to be like a level involved with this and not just like gauntlets or something.
I hope so. That'd be nice because we didn't really
I'd
get
like
anything. With
I'd
the
like some
last
new
one.
areas.
Yeah.
Some. I think that'd be fun if they went kind of all out for the
I
last
think
one.
so.
All right. Everything else for spring, like this would be a full podcast to break down like what we think for E3. But I'm just kind of curious what conferences you think we're like. Is Sony gonna come back?
No.
Is anyone else gonna not have a conference this year? What do you guys think?
I think Xbox will because they're desperate. We'll talk about it in the bin in November. I think they'll still be there. I think I've been saying this for the past few years, but this E3, I don't know. They've talked about having celebrity playing matches. They've talked about like music being like bands and stuff.
E3's in a bad place.
Yeah, I think this is the starting of we're digging the grave for E3.
Yeah, I think it is, but I don't think we're at the end yet.
No,
Like,
no, that's what I mean. I just think it's
yeah.
like, oh, there's the hole. Let's start digging. And this is when we start digging. I don't think PlayStation wants anything to do with this. I think we have not gotten great state of plays, but I think that's just them sprinkling that eventually they're going to drop one that's bomb and we're going to love it like a Nintendo Direct. Nintendo could easily drop something, but they could easily do what they did with Pokemon last year and go, oh, we're going to go a week before and here's our stuff.
Yeah.
So I think...
And that's kind of what Sony did last year. They had a state of play like a week before
Yeah.
E3 or something,
I-
where
and
they
I-
announced Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I've said this 2 years in a row. I don't think Bethesda needs to be there, but they'll go there. So I think you'll still have some...
Well, I think E3 for them it's time, right? Because they have probably Starfield and Deathloop are two big games. I think they want like
Yeah.
get release dates out for.
Then I just think they need a better conference and just shorten it,
Oh, yeah,
or
last year's
do
conference was
what they
terrible.
did 2 years ago of that Ferris wheel where it was like a Nintendo Direct. Like, here's our 6 things, and that's it. Like, they need to like really spice up. But there's a chance some of these people don't show up because if this thing, I just feel that E3 and especially the reaction online when they announced all these new cool events, it was just. It feels very uncool and it feels very dated, and it just like I said, right when they brought the celebrity like gaming matches, like people don't want this. You need to do something else. And I always thought they were gonna go the esports route and have like esports events there, but no, they've gone what I completely worried. Like let's load this with celebrities and stuff like that. So I don't think PlayStation will be there. I think Xbox will be there. Bethesda, Nintendo, I'll say 50-50 because I could see them skipping it, and the rest of them, sure, Ubi will be there, but I don't know because they've even made it sound like there's a lot of the stages are like being used for these certain events too. So I don't know. It's in a weird situation.
sketchy.
Yeah.
Do you guys
Yeah,
have any bold
I
predictions?
Don't have any bold predictions.
Okay.
E3. I
Do you
just
think
feel like,
Sony's going to be there? That's the main thing.
I'd say yes,
I'd say yes.
just to be that guy. Yeah. So
Cool.
yeah. No evidence as to why I would go with
Yeah,
that, but let's
that's
just.
Taylor, is Sony going to be there?
I think Sony will be there because they'll see Xbox doing it, so they were going to be like,
I
"Oh,
just-
Xbox is doing it, we're
no.
going to do it."
But that
Why
was
wouldn't that happen this year?
yeah.
Because I just feel like it gives them a chance to like steal the show and like shadow, I guess,
don't-
other companies
They-
if they wanted to try.
Taylor, I hate to say this because we're again in November. There's no show to steal. Xbox owns the show now. Like,
they do.
PlayStation owns the show. Like, Xbox is just in so much trouble right now, and I just don't. I think they look at Xbox the same way they look at Nintendo right now. Like, oh, they're around, but they're not gonna affect us.
I don't know if I'd look at them as being in trouble. Like all we need to see is just where they're going to go with games.
I mean,
That's
in trouble.
all.
Not that they're
So-
gonna go to business, just in trouble as far as the past 2 generations of Xbox versus PlayStation, it's not that. It's PlayStation, and then for the PC people, PC, and then it's what's after that. I don't think they don't care what they're doing at all. It's the same way with Marvel and like DC. They don't care about if they're going to Comic-Con or not. They'll go when they want to. I think PlayStation wants to do the console reveal and everything on their own terms. They don't want to do it E3 when a bunch of stuff's going on. They're going to pick a day in September when we all sit down, we watch the event instead of being tired and being covering E3. They're going to make it this whole big thing. I think a PS4 reveal is bigger than E3 right now, and that says a lot about E3 as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't think E3 is gonna get like old Yellard or anything like that. I think it's gonna be around for a while.
Old
like,
Yellard.
Yeah, not taken out back and put out.
Well, I guess I should clarify. I think it could be around, but not the way that we say it. That I think in 2 years we might not have 5 conferences, all these games.
Yeah.
It'll be some weird.
Yeah,
Coliseum
I think
show.
you're on. I mean, I think you're definitely right. It's just this year I don't think there's gonna be anything dramatic. Although I would say I also agree. I think Sony, they're just gonna keep pimping these state of plays.
Yeah.
Get better at them. Get them on the tier of that Nintendo Direct. And then who knows? They could even release it that same week.
Oh,
Because like Nintendo, it's like they're not there, but they just release a Nintendo Direct during it, and then they are still there, and they have like games on the show floor and whatnot. But I think Sony will probably kind of be savage like they were last year and drop a big state of play like the week before or something.
And they did that with Game Awards too. They dropped one a week before as well. So they get the first word right, and then everyone goes, "Oh, there's nothing as good as here as that
so
Sony
I think
one."
once they get to that tier where these state of plays are actually a lot better, they move at a better pace. They don't show as much like clutter, I guess you could say. Then I think that they could really just be living in their own world, and I think that'd be good. That's good for them.
and not reveal Last of Us, and
And
then
that's
a week
cheaper.
later,
It's cheaper for them to make a state of play than
100%.
to do this whole presentation where they have like various rooms they're renting out and big orchestra. Like they obviously went all out, and I'm sure those were very expensive shows to make. So
Also, new president, so we'll see what this guy's gonna do.
that's a good point as well. Yeah. Okay, here's some summer 2020 stuff. I wrote Death Stranding's coming to PC. That's sweet. Not much to
Get
add
it
on there.
if you haven't played it.
And then the other big release is another PS4. The last PS4 exclusive. I shouldn't say last, but probably last. Ghosts.
Big one.
Yeah, exactly. Ghosts of Tsushima. Oh my God.
Ghosts.
Ghosts.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this one? I personally, I don't know. It's just not jiving with me. It's not scratching that itch that I want. I feel like when I see this, I'm like, I'm just gonna go back and finish Sekiro, and that's kind of, or like I'm gonna go back and play Neo. Like, that's kind of the vibe I get. I don't know if I need, like, not to say that it's similar in those games because I really don't know. We haven't seen enough gameplay yet. It looks cool, but I just think this is one that I'm gonna end up not getting.
Yeah, it's definitely lower. Like
It's a beautiful game, though.
It looks beautiful, but for like that genre of games, I feel like I'm more inclined to like go back and play some like older Dark Souls games like before I am that. So it's like Neo 2, and then like Sekiro, and then it's like old Dark Souls games, and then this, because it's just I can scratch my itch elsewhere, and I kind of know what I'm getting into on those ones. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll follow the lines of like what I said earlier with Neo 2, where it's like people are done with Sekiro, they'll play Neo 2, and then by that point they'll have another game. Like if they're just like, some people only play those types of games.
Yeah.
So who knows? We'll see how it goes. What about you, Taylor? You love this game? Can't wait for it. Pre-ordered?
Pre-ordered?
Yeah.
I have to check my wallet, but
Check the
To check your. I feel like you just get like blackout drunk or something. Wake up. You have like 3 games pre-ordered. Yeah, exactly. Just
Pre-ordered
receipts.
Predator Hunter.
Receipts all over you. What did I do? What have I done?
I think that's true.
Maybe.
It's canon.
Yeah, this game, I've only seen it when they first revealed it, and like the guy was standing there with the katana, and it was like the wind blowing through the grass, and he like
Beautiful.
cut down some other guy. It looked visually stunning. Like I felt like I was in like feudal Japan, and that's a good thing. So
Travis, are you buying this game?
My thoughts, other than going back and playing Sekiro, are the exact same as Dylan's. Nothing's really caught me. It's a game that I could maybe actually watch some more cutscenes and stuff when the game's out. All it takes is some good word of mouth, and maybe that turns me around, because trailers can do that all the time. You can get bad trailers, but yeah, there's it's not what I was hoping, to be honest. When there's a lot of hype and it got revealed, and I was like, oh, let's see more, and I've seen more, and it always looks beautiful, but nothing where I go, oh, I need to play that one. So yeah, and especially too that it's gonna come out summer-ish. We're getting closer to new consoles, so I'll probably be penny pitching a bit more and be like, if I really want the PS5, which I probably will be buying that probably day 1 or month 1, depending on the games and whatnot. But yeah, it might be a game I catch later on. Maybe when it that's a perfect PS Plus game in the future to me.
Yeah.
Get it and like try it out. That's what I kind of have in my
Yeah,
mind.
kind of like they have God of War on PS Now.
Yeah,
maybe it's something like that.
Or like same thing. I'm hoping Days Gone one day gets PS Now or PS Plus.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
kind of that sort
Love
of
to
vein.
say you've played it a bit, right?
Exactly.
That's
yeah.
sad. Imagine if you make like a full-on like AAA game. It's just like, people are looking forward to it.
I mean,
on
this
PS
game
Plus.
is from Sucker Punch, if you were
Mhm.
unaware. So I mean, it's a
Infamous.
yeah, it's definitely a relevant game. It's just, I guess it's not speaking to any of us
Yeah.
on the cast, and I think maybe the timing's not great, right? Like we've just seen between Neo and your Sekiro. Like, there's games that look kind of like this, right?
I think
Yeah.
they're just
That's
stuck.
too bad to them.
They're just stuck because they're in this window where they got to get it out, right? Consoles coming out, so it's just like, well, let's put it
Yeah.
here. They can't really delay it
I think
another
this one's
time,
just going to
so
be a little bit forgotten about, unfortunately.
I think
but-
it could be, but who
Who
knows?
knows?
Maybe it pops like Last of Us, right? That game came
Yeah.
out. Last of Us was nothing until, because I worked at Best Buy. I remember that game came out. It sold out right away. Everyone was talking about it, and this was just this zombie game coming to PS3,
Right.
right? So that could be the same thing.
Or maybe it's a case where, like, okay, they've done the groundwork of, like, what is this world? What kind of game is this? And then by the time PS5 is out, like, maybe they get a sequel out within, like, a couple of years or something. Like, they can make it a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because they already have, like, some of that foundational stuff out of the way.
Right.
And who knows? Maybe that one will be like, oh, damn, this game was great.
Yeah.
All right, here is, I guess,
Fall we're into
yeah,
now?
yeah, I guess fall
Lots
is,
of rumored stuff.
well, I mean, the big thing with fall is we're going to get some presumably console launches.
Yeah,
in,
yeah.
I mean, they always kind of happen in November. That's kind of what we are led to believe. That's probably what's going to happen this year.
Who goes first of the consoles? Because before
Yeah, so we
last
got
one was PS5, then
Xbox
Xbox
Series
One, right?
X
Like the
and-
same week.
Do we officially know it's called PS5 yet?
No, but it has to be. I don't want any
Yeah.
fucking weird ass titles.
PlayStation
like the
Xbox
Xbox
One.
Yeah.
PS Series P.
Yeah, I don't want
Series P.
Yeah, I don't
Series
want
P.
that.
Wee Herman. Yeah, what do you guys think's happening first? And I will say this, you can kind of just bundle it all together, but Xbox
Yeah.
Series X, we know launch titles are Halo Infinite and Hellblade Senua's Saga, and then for PS5, the only one we know so far is Godfall, which we saw at Game Awards.
Right.
So, and I don't know, do you guys think there's going to be other ones for PS5? And yeah, who wants to start here?
It's very difficult. I think PS5 is in a great position. They're going to be on the hype of Last of Us and even Ghosts. Like, I don't think it's going to be a train wreck of a game, so I think
Yeah.
it'll have its fan base. So they're the reigning champs, and they have a lot of more wins under their belt. I think with them, it just comes down to what are there going to be the other features. We've talked about this before. What's their answer to the Games Pass? But at the end of the day, I don't know if they need an answer. I've been thinking about that. And at the end of the day, where they've been sailing, they've been selling all these consoles still, and they don't have a Games Pass. Like, Xbox adds all these features, and you know what's been happening, unfortunately, is the sales keep going down. The one thing I always think was a mistake, I'll say this ever since E3, I hate that they did the exclusives. I'm happy for all of you for not having to pay $60, but I think putting like Gears and Halo all on Games Pass day one, they just shot themselves in the foot to get any extra income. So that was dumb.
That's
And
the thing is, none of us as consumers know what the numbers look like on their end. Like, they haven't released any of that stuff,
Yeah.
so it's hard to say like how much they pay a studio to like have their game exclusively on their service.
it's
Who
true.
knows what the financials
I
are
just
looking
go
like.
by for the consoles wise. When I look at the console sales continually dropping and dropping and dropping, and Switches outselling them, that's when I go. That's been ever since we started this podcast. I'm a broken record. I said you need a great game. You can't name me a new Xbox
Yeah.
IP that's really hit right. It's been your Gears, it's been Halo.
And you know something that like obviously PS4 has big exclusives like Last of Us 2
Spider-Man.
and Ghost of Tsushima, but I think someone even realized just in this cast so far is like a Neo 2 or Predator Hunting Grounds, like Final Fantasy 7, like timed exclusives are a big deal as well, and
Yeah.
they get some really good ones for Sony, whereas Xbox, like either they have an exclusive or they don't. It doesn't seem like they're doing any of these timed exclusives. And
Yeah.
And I think for me, and it sounds really harsh, I don't want anyone to lose their jobs, but I think Phil Spencer does need to go. I think they need a change in leadership. I just think they keep making the same mistake over and over and over. They're trying, but I don't think they're trying to just feel like they're that guy in the room trying to be friends with everybody, but it's like you can't. You just can't. Sometimes you got to pick your group and have that great night instead of, I had an all right night because I talked to a bunch of people I didn't know. So I do think he needs to go. I think they need to change it up. And the Xbox Series X, me and Dylan, we did the live stream for the Games Awards. We were, I think, more positive on it than a lot more of the internet. I don't think it's a great looking console, but we were surprised when we went online during that. It was just like that thing was getting killed and memed, and what they need is the only way they can shift is they need PlayStation to royally fuck up. Xbox 360, even though if you look at the stats, PS3 outsold it in its lifelong back-to-back. All it took was that Xbox One conference, and it killed them. The whole sharing games, you need some sort of, you can't share that.
the price point was also much
Price
higher.
point, you have to be connected to Wi-Fi to play any of your
Yeah.
games. They became the loser in the room, right? That's what they need PlayStation to do. The thing is, I just don't think PlayStation can do that. That happened in PS3, but they learned. The unfortunate thing is I think Xbox has learned that mistake, but momentum, you just can't stop it. So I think they just don't have any momentum. They got no big games. Their console is a meme right now. It's not looking great, and I just think that in the next few years, I don't think they'll be gone. They'll always be like a big-time developer, but I don't know what money there is going to be in making more consoles in the future for them. So, I don't know. I remember when PS4 and Xbox launched, Xbox One, and like the sales were relatively close. not relatively, but it was like a 15, 20 million versus like a 10 million, right? PS4 clearly won, but they were still, oh, you could make a comeback. I don't think that's going to be the case this go around. I think it's going to be like a 20 to 5 million. And like I said, I think the Switch and Nintendo has more future right now. So those are all my thoughts on that. But I can't wait. That's going to be an exciting time to watch those conferences and break it all down. And we hear those rumors about PS5 going to be. And maybe they do, and that's the other killer thing. If they do have an answer Games Pass or something like that, that's just another like, oh, fuck for Xbox. Because these rumors about they're making all these PS1 and PS2 games backwards compatible, that's big because PS4 didn't do that. They have like 2-3 PS2 games
and
on
PS2
the PS Now.
is like the biggest console
the
ever.
prime,
So.
Everyone has such nostalgia about that console, right? So if you can get like even fucking Lord of the Rings playing, stuff like that, it could be big. So either they can just coast and win, or they might just do the full-on death blow. And either way, I think they're coming to play. Sony likes money, and their movies are.
I mean, like
healthy.
on a technological level, it seems like they're both doing the solid state drive for decreased load times, which to me is like that's the seller. But I think really at the end of the day, it's just I have so much brand loyalty right now for PlayStation because they have great exclusives, and I like a lot of their exclusives. There is some that I also don't care about. Like Detroit was kind of a flop for me, but
I would hope for you and me. I think the best thing if they did want a big game for launch, if they had Horizon, that would be huge.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get something like that. I think it's whatever Blue Point Studios is working on. They're the ones who made the Shadow of the Colossus remake. I think they're doing another remake of some game. Likely, and I think that'll be a launch title.
But that's just another thing. If they did that, that would just be another brick on top of Xbox if they
would
throw out
be
Horizon.
wild,
Because I think it will come out the launch year, though. You and I have speculated
I think
that, right?
launch year, yeah.
And that's big because I cannot wait for Horizon 2. And then the rumor is Spider-Man's coming out the year after the console launch. So you can get all those new people to PS5 and then be like, hey, and guess what? Spider-Man's coming. They might even say that in that console conference, that next year's Spider-Man. And that's like another selling point because Spider-Man was huge. It's just... And God of War's kicking around. All this stuff is being made. It's crazy. So.
Yeah, and then kind of like Kirklin was saying earlier, A Last of Us or I guess Ghosts, like like a HD not HD remaster,
HDD,
but like a PS5
times.
version. Yeah, no load time version. Like boom, that's some other good stuff that you can play on launch already. That's still pretty recent, and you'll be in the conversation for Game Awards and stuff. Though I don't know if Game Awards will be as big next year. I think they kind of flopped this year a bit, but.
You think Game Awards flopped this year?
I think a bit. I think people were generally let down by the whole thing. There was way too many ads. The announcements people weren't huge on.
That's true, yeah.
And I think I personally was just like, man, they didn't have like any developers on stage. They had like 3 or 4 people have a speech, and to me that was like really heartbreaking because I think the whole point of that is that you can hear from these people who people don't know who makes their games. They just like, oh, I know this name of the studio, but no one knows the name of the people who are making them other than like a Kojima or someone who's on that status. But that was something that really disappointed me.
You got to pay Green Day. You got to get those ads in.
You got to get the fucking Green Day in there and a million Google Stadia ads. Anyway.
Taylor, I want you to go because I just spent like the last minute like trashing Xbox. So what is your defense?
Fuck PlayStation. Fuck.
Yeah, you got your Halo Infinite, you got Hellblade.
Yeah, for me, like when they first like showcased like the Xbox Series X, like I didn't hate it. I really liked what I saw, and I'm very excited to get it. And like a few of my friends that jumped ship from Xbox One over to PS4, they saw it, and one in particularly, he's like, yeah, you know what, I'm sold. I want to go back to Xbox because like I ditched a lot of my friends on the console to go play like PS4, and yeah, the games are good in that sense. But I think the thing that's like kind of always held me back is a lot of those games and exclusives, as beautiful as they are, and they definitely are warranted in every aspect that they are to be like great games, but it's just like the single player experiences, and for me that's something like I value on Xbox. And I'll like with Xbox, definitely you're right, I think Phil Spencer should be replaced. I definitely agree with you on that. But I think he's definitely done justice into where they've come now to this point. I think that they always should have had, good exclusives and good games kind of pumping out for Microsoft. I think that's a given, but I am very happy that how they've they have just narrowed down and honed in just like a great UI gaming experience with Game Pass being amazing. And, the console I can flow through the console, know exactly where I got to be. I can, connect with my friends. I can connect with everything I need to on my phone, my tablet, my desktop. I can stream my gameplay footage back and forth like it's fantastic. And I love how everything is kind of all fallen into place. So I'm excited to see where this console kind of takes that. And I'm hoping it's not just, okay, here's a new console, that's it. I want to have more with that. So I'm hoping for more games. Halo Infinite I think will be a good like kind of extra kicker for it. But personally, like I do want more with this. Like I'm hoping that we get some extra kind of like incentive to kind of like stick with Xbox. Like for me, when the Xbox One came out, I definitely was a little rattled at the whole like you can share games but you need to have internet thing. But
Yeah.
I bit down. I thought I'm gonna stick it out. I'm gonna stick with Xbox because I see how I got all that gamer score on my 360. I want to keep my thing going.
That was the main reason.
So but anyway, it paid off because Xbox listened. They're like, yep, we're gonna change that and switch things up, and
they had to.
They had to, and I don't regret ever going Xbox One with where I am.
Except for
and
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man's a good game. I'm happy to be in a point in my life where I can sit down and I can play with PlayStation 4 players on Call of Duty. I never thought I'd ever get to do that, but it's amazing that we're at this point now where we can do that. And yes, Sony definitely holds the ground for, again, those great single-player experiences. But for me, and what I'm looking to play great multiplayer experiences where I can like pop into the game, have my parties, talking to people, because I'm always engaging online with Xbox. I'm always trying to rile things up and get things going.
Rile things
and
up.
oh yeah,
You're how old that you're trying to rile things up?
So for me, it's just as long as they keep pumping out those flawless controller designs and just seamless online experiences, that's all I need. So yeah,
Cool, man.
All right.
Any additional thoughts, Kirkland?
Not so much. Just I don't know. I feel like I can't see Xbox like overthrowing
Yeah.
PlayStation at this point. I feel like they're just
You're
so
sticking with
far ahead.
Sony.
I've been a Sony
And-
like loyalist
Yeah.
ever since like PS1.
Are you a
basically.
day one kind of guy on the PS5?
No, I'm not. I
No?
wasn't a day one PS4. I got it like springtime,
Yeah.
so like the following year. I could see myself similar sort of thing, because that's usually I feel like they release like their first like exclusive or like next gen game, and then usually you can get like a bundle around those times.
Yeah, Christmas time.
Christmas time as
Yeah.
well, yeah. So those were the two I was kind of thinking,
Yeah.
but we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I've always shied away from like day one like buys on like a big console, because I feel like
Yeah.
sometimes they get just like I don't know, buggy issues
it's
or
sketchy as fuck.
You never
It
know.
is,
Yeah.
but there's nothing more thrilling than the hype of being with
That is
everybody
true.
day one and opening it up and seeing the menu.
Oh,
and
100%.
everything. Like when I thought about buying the PS4 the first time, when I think back to it, it's like I really didn't need it because the
Yeah.
games were meh and whatnot, but
Yeah.
it was that a great experience.
Don't you
No,
want to be the
100%.
guy that people go to your house and be like, yo, is that a mini fridge on your counter? It's like,
Exactly.
no, that's my Xbox Series X. And you look at the camera and Phil Spencer gives you a like on your
That's what
Facebook
I'll
Yeah,
be
see,
saying.
I'll go to a friend's house and be that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. No, but and then just quick one pointer on the Series X.
1.0.
Unfortunately I had like a bad migraine on like the Game Awards, but when the first time I saw it, I like opened up my phone and it was a meme, and like it's never good seeing like
No.
the first thing about a new console being a meme, and like I didn't understand like the full
Memes, I don't know. Memes are like they can go either way. Honestly,
that is true.
I like
they
the
could
memes,
be positive.
and now because of the memes, I feel like I like the Xbox Series X. Look.
I
think
saw a
it's
lot
fun.
of I saw a lot of the memes, and just I was wondering to myself, just like I don't understand why people are getting like so fired up about it. Like just the design, is that 100%?
yeah,
the
that's
reason?
it. It
Okay.
just is not looking.
It's
I don't
because
know
you can
why,
you can
like-
edit it into a picture of a kitchen with the fridge, and
That's
you wouldn't
that's the meme I
notice.
saw.
Yeah, exactly.
That's totally the meme stuff. But like the same thing, like the PS5. I don't know if it's a final design, but like from the game developer thing that we've
let's hope
seen.
not the stadium, the football stadium.
Yeah, it's just like
Football
I don't know, like that's nothing special. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're definitely in that meme culture where people are just making memes about anything.
Yeah,
so.
people are memeing about World War III. It's like, are you guys fucking serious? Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So
Fucking memers.
Team PlayStation, let's go.
All right. Any more thoughts on those console launches or?
Nope, I'm excited to cover it with the podcast.
I think this
so
is going to be
good
the
times.
last Xbox, or they're gonna have like Xbox Series X.
Well,
X.
because what they say they want to do is they now want to do this like a phone system, right? So almost like every year and a half, you're gonna get a new Xbox with updated stuff. I don't know that I want to say no, but like it is. I just don't see the selling of it, because I always same thing with the argument we've talked about many times. All these great graphics, and it's like, well, then go to PC. Like I just don't know who it's for, other than you're really loyalist, but the loyal seem really low. So I won't say this is the last one, but I'll go bold and say it's the second last one. I think they might put out one more to like try some stuff, and this will help, and then it won't. And then either it's the last one or it's the last Phil Spencer one, because I do think they will. I think they just got
I could see
comfortable,
that
and they
for
gotta
sure.
they gotta boost. And they gotta get some new eyes. Get Reggie in there, Makes
Yeah.
retired.
I mean,
He's
with
not busy.
the streaming future, like who knows what consoles are going to be, right?
That is true.
they
yeah.
do have that potentially because lots of
Cloud
lots
is
of people.
pretty sweet.
Yeah,
looking,
lots of
so.
people are saying good stuff, but like especially when Stadia's kind of crap in the bed right now and everything. So they could have that future. So that's a good thing for them.
Yeah.
So I won't say this one's for sure last, but I bet though the next one will not look like this. They will change the design. Whatever the next Xbox Series,
Triangle
it'll look more
It should
like
just
a
be a
con-
circle,
It'll
so it
look
can
more
roll
like a
around your living
console.
room.
rolls around.
They're doing a
It's like
bunch
a
of-
Roomba.
They do a hexagon next and everything. They're hitting all the
That's
shapes.
Here's some just miscellaneous 2020.
Yeah.
We don't have dates for these, but these are just games. I'm gonna rifle off some indie games from my
do it.
personal calendar. Spelunky 2 is my game of the previous decade. I cannot wait for this game. I have to imagine it's coming out 2020 because it's supposed to come out 2019. Got pushed back. But a bunch of people played it like at PAX and stuff. So like it's clearly pretty
cooking.
far along. I think the reason it may be taking some time is because UFO 50 is another game that Derek Yu, creator of Spelunky, is also working on, which I think is also probably coming out 2020. I'm excited. It's essentially a collection of 50 NES style throwback games that are like a few hours long. Some of them are co-op, some of them are single player, but just a collection of 50 games from like, great game designers. So it seems pretty
That's
cool.
awesome.
This was shown in Nintendo's Directy thing they did back in sometime
Directy.
right before the Game Awards, their indie one. Sports Story just looks like a really cool game. It's like Golf Story seemed like a really cool game. I think this one's just even better because it's like all the sports. So I don't know, it just looks like fun. Circuit Superstars is kind of like I don't know how you describe it. It's almost like a pocket racer. It's like, I don't know, it just looks like a fun racing game I'm interested in. Hollow Knight, Silk Song. Hollow Knight is one of, if not the best Metroidvanias I've ever played in my life, and that genre has always been tricky for me to get super into, but that one, the sequel looks great.
People are excited for that.
Yeah, I don't know when that's coming out. I want to say probably within the first 6 months of the year. Like, I think it's earlier on. Teardown is a really interesting looking game. I don't even know how to describe this one. It's just got that kind of art style that really does it for me, and just fully destructible environments. Kind of reminds me of Red Faction Guerrilla a little bit, and how you just tear down buildings to accomplish some tasks and stuff. So that one looks fun. Super Mash is this game where you essentially pick two genres off a list, and then it like mashes them together, and you play that. So you could be like shooter and RPG, and then it would like craft this little game that you play, or you could do like racing and like beat 'em up, and then you get like somehow some sort of racing game, beat 'em up. It's already out on Epic Game Store, and it doesn't have great reviews, so I'm a little bit worried. But when it hopefully by the time it hits Switch, it's like, I don't know, maybe it's better concept than it actually is like a finished game, unfortunately. But it's on my radar. Skip that one. Moving Out is almost like a Overcooked style game where you like renovate a house with your homies. So you got to like carry stuff through doorways and like, throw paint supplies at each other. It's essentially an Overcooked ripoff, but it looks so much fun. I want to play it with you guys. And then Skatebird is just like a tech deck style skateboarding game that I actually played a bit of it because during the Game Awards they had like, you can play these 10 games on Steam for like play some demos for a little bit. So I downloaded it. It was very janky because the game's not coming out until like late 2020, but it was still like a fun game that if it's the right price, I could see myself picking it up we're not getting Skate 4. We're not getting Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 7. Like, this could fill that niche for me. So those are my indie games that are on my radar. Here's some other 2020 stuff that doesn't have dates, but is almost certainly coming out this year. Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker saga.
So hyped on that. Oh,
Yeah.
can't wait to get my hands on
It sounds
that.
like I depending on I guess here's the thing. When's it coming out? Is it coming out December like other Star Wars stuff? What do you guys think?
I think it's
Why is it not announced? Why does it not have a date? What's going on here? When's
That's
it
a good
coming
question. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't have all the answers, unfortunately.
I don't have any answers.
I'm guessing it's because it's late 2020 and it's like around December, November, so that's why they don't have a date for it, because it's just like they don't want to put that out yet because it's so far away. I don't know. That's probably like a day one buy for me if it comes out at the right time frame.
Yeah,
Because
I would
I
agree
love
with
the
that.
original ones. To play all of them together, like I don't know if they're full remasters of the originals or if they're like kind of redesigned in some ways, but I don't know. I think it'll just be great
something
fun.
I'm hoping is that they actually have it like all in one game. I know sometimes when they have like, I don't know, obviously
It's like a collection.
Yeah, so it's like you start the game and then there's start this version of the game or start this version of the game.
Right.
Like it's actually collaborative. That way, if you have like characters like, let's just say Kylo Ren, you could have him in the prequels, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want to have like
That's a
the
really good
prequel
point.
version I would imagine it is all one because
Hopefully they
it is
realize
the
that would
Skywalker
be a
saga.
big missed opportunity.
I would be very much let down if
I
that's
think
the
they
case.
will.
Yeah.
It sounds
I want
like
to
they
play
got
as
it right.
Ray through the
Oh fuck yeah!
entire
I want to
timeline.
do pod racing with Ray.
Pod racing with Ray. That's a fantasy.
Well, that's what the Lego Star Wars 2, like the original one, had, right? Like you could.
You could play as Ray.
Well, you could bring over all the characters from Revenge of
Yep.
the
Yeah,
original Lego
okay,
into
yeah,
this
you're
one,
right.
right?
Okay.
So,
I think
Okay.
they'll do that.
So
they
then
know.
they would. Yeah,
It's
okay.
pretty
I would
easy to
think so.
put the characters around. They're
That
pretty
was just
simple.
one thing I was a little worried
Yeah.
about in the back of my mind because I have played games like that and been let
Yeah.
down. So
I'm pretty
We'll see.
stoked too because I got like one of the Marvel Lego games like sometime in the summer. It's like those games are just so much fun. Like I just love
Yeah.
the Lego games.
I haven't played a Lego game in a while.
except for the
but man,
the
they're
Lord of the
good.
Rings one is kind of shit, unfortunately.
Oh, it
but
was too.
I'm sure I didn't even bother to play that one. But here's another one you guys may have forgot is coming out 2020. Destroy All Humans, the remake.
Fuck man.
What do you guys think about that?
Definitely forgot about, and that's unknown right now.
I think it is 2020, but no
Yeah.
date.
I will be
Fun
following
games,
that one.
But I
Yeah.
will. I'm gonna. There's just so much new games. That's why
Yeah.
even Star Wars
Yeah.
Skywalker. That sounds fun, but it's all these games are not full price worthy for me. That they
Yeah.
are kind of these like coming up, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird one because when I saw the trailer, I was blown away. I'm just
Yeah.
like, especially like
This
the
is a
side by
it's that
side.
nostalgia hit we just needed. Yeah.
Absolutely, it probably was like 90% nostalgia and like 10% me knowing that it's gonna be an amazing game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'll be one of those things I'm probably following. I could definitely see that as like a PlayStation Plus like free game of a month,
That
like
could be
down
cool.
the line.
I'm
So
down.
I might just wait for something like that.
True.
But I love that game like a lot. I
Yeah.
remember just playing like hours upon hours. But who knows if it stands up
Yeah.
in this day and age?
All right, Dying Light 2. You guys are on the
Yeah.
Dying Light train. What do you guys think of the sequel?
About Dying Light 1 at Target all the time.
Oh yeah, we
That
did.
game was
It
scary.
was solid game. I'm really excited for this one. And we don't know like a specific
2020.
day.
Spring
Spring
sometime, I think
2020.
they
Is it a spring?
I
Okay.
think that's what they said. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'll obviously your Xbox, so I can't play with you.
Unless they got crossplay.
Unless they if they got crossplay, that would be amazing. Because I have a couple PlayStation buddies that will probably pick it up, and that's who I was playing like the first game with. And I love that game. I like it with friends or not. I feel like with friends you can be a lot more aggressive because you can obviously have guys like looking out for you when you're like searching for things. But it's just such a great game, and I can only see them improving upon what they did in the first game. This seems like there's a lot more like repercussions with your actions in this game.
100%.
Which is awesome. I love games that do that. I mentioned Witcher for that reason, and just and honestly, I would compare it to Dishonored from what we saw. How it's like if you do a little bit more like darker things,
Dishonored?
yeah. So if you do like I don't know, if you make darker actions, like instead of stealing these things, you're kill. This is
Oh
a
my
total
God.
example,
I love
obviously.
consequences.
But then like the world's just darker. There's probably more like aggressive zombies and everything. Darker world.
you
People
sold
are
me. I'm buying
people a
Dying
lot
Light
more
2.
asses
Like
around.
a lot
so-
more ass.
A lot more ass. I'm hoping.
Oh, we're open ass.
So I'm hyped on this game. I don't want to say it's a day one purchase, but probably like first month or something, depending on timing. What about you, buddy?
Yeah,
Anything to add?
depending when this officially comes out, this could easily sneak in as a day one purchase for me.
Yeah.
Just
Same
seeing
day as Xbox Series X.
it would be a launch title for me. I'd buy it for Xbox Series X. Sure. It just the game seems like from what I saw, you could save this community and help them build their water tower, but then it results in another community dying off.
Yeah,
You know, just
so
the consequence factors.
Those tough decisions.
Yeah, just so incredible. And I beat the first Dying Light. I played the heck out of it. I ended up getting my
Steel case.
this ultimate katana with a blowtorch on it.
Oh,
So it was
shit.
just so sick. And just going into groups of zombies, killing them, parkour. The parkour was just
Parkour
seamless.
is so smooth. Yeah.
So smooth. And it just for a game that just you're out doing runs, getting supplies, everything, and then it starts to get like nighttime, and you're thinking, "Holy fuck!"
Oh man, yeah.
Those super like
It's-
undead zombies are gonna
yeah.
come out, and even then, like if you're out running around in the daytime and you go into the sewers, and there's just certain parts like, "Oh, I can't go into this nest." They're like crawling all over the place, and you just gotta run for your life. Like it's terrifying. And then on that level, when it gets to be nighttime, another player joins into your game as the super zombie, and then he's hunting you. You think, "Oh, now this is another factor that's crazy." Like. It's just such a fantastic game that just totally shifted how my experience of zombie games were from the typical like Call of Duty or like Dead Rising kind of thing, and it's legendary. So I was totally blown away when they announced Dying Light 2, but this is definitely could sneak in for me.
It's something I wasn't expecting, but I'm very much excited that it is coming out. And just that example that you brought up about like saving the one community by building the water tower, but it fucks over the other one. I felt like that's something that they had in the first game, but you didn't get to make the decisions. Like, you're doing something that fucks someone over, and it's just like, well, I'm kind of forced in that. So it's really cool that you actually have like the decision now,
That's
which
cool.
something they didn't have in the first game is very linear.
You guys are really selling me on this. This
It's,
one's back, it's back on
It's
my
a
radar.
good
Yeah.
experience.
Awesome. I'm glad I sold
Well, was Dying Light on PS Now, PS Plus, or whatever?
it. I don't
I don't think so. I would have got it.
Or maybe it was
Yeah.
Outlast. I always mix up Dead by Daylight,
Outlast was on there.
Outlast, and
One
Dying
and
Light.
two.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's the one. Anyway, maybe I'll go check out Dying Light. Here's some games. I'm just going to rapid fire these because I don't think we have too much to add, but I think they're worth mentioning. System Shock remake.
Oh, fuck yeah. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, did you play the original?
No, but I watched like a walkthrough of
Yeah.
it, and I just fell
It's a
in love
cool game. I feel like I've heard it like Prey, like 2017 Prey was a lot inspired by that
Yeah.
game, so that's where I'm
I like
interested.
those types of horror games where it's
Yeah.
psychological.
Kind of like
and,
Soma too.
Yeah, exactly. I love Soma as well. But yeah, back in the day when I couldn't just buy my own games, I would just go on YouTube and like watch walkthroughs of it. I think I watched like a walkthrough for Batman Arkham Asylum
Yo,
because I just
tight.
didn't have it, but I just was interested in it. But yeah, different
Underrated
time in
horror
my
game.
life.
The budget playthrough. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm very excited for that. A lot of the community is hyped on it because System
Yeah.
Shock is just
I might buy that.
it's a
one,
well-known
depending
name
on
in the game.
how much it is when it comes out.
Totally.
Here's some other ones: Skull and Bones, Outriders, Kerbal Space Program 2, Little Nightmares 2, Psychonauts 2, Vampire the Masquerade, Rainbow Six Quarantine, Empire of Sun, Bravely Default 2, No More Heroes 3. Any notes on any of those?
Skull and Bones is gonna bomb big time.
Empire of the Sun. Is that game?
It's a
that you and me-
Nintendo game.
Okay, never
It's like a
mind.
gangster Nintendo strategy
Okay, yeah,
game.
it's not the game I was thinking of.
It was
I'm gonna
announced
have
in,
to
I want
do
to
some
say, their
Googling.
September Direct. It's a weird-looking game. Check out a trailer for it. It's worth knowing about, I'd say, but
It's
who
worth
knows?
knowing about.
Who knows if that game is going to be,
Worth it.
yeah. So
Taylor, Skull and Bones. I'm sure in Rainbow Six you have some stuff.
Rainbow Six is just one of those games that continually just it stands strong. You know, I think they're like it's their 5th year and they're still they have massive like esports competitions for this game. Like it's got a very active community and they're just like going like they're going for
community.
it. Yeah, big community. So this new game Quarantine is more like a like zombie survival kind of thing, I believe. So it's cool. And I think
That's
it definitely
right up your alley.
it is up my alley. It definitely works with the whole breach and clear factor that
Breach
they
and
like
clear.
really like tackled and like nailed in Rainbow Six Siege. So that's pretty cool. And Skull and Bones, it's you know, I like Black Flag is my kind of go-to pirate game, and Sea of Thieves is like up there now for like great
Nice.
pirate experiences. So
Can you name me one other pirate game? Just
One
that
other one?
exists.
I can,
Pirates
but I
of the-
won't
Pirates of
help
the
'em.
Caribbean on GameCube.
Lego Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh god.
Lego.
held
That,
the-
there's a
you went-
Lego game for that?
There
Yeah.
it is.
That's sick.
You cheated. You cheated
Um,
off them.
Looked at my homework.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not really other pirate games. There's one that they announced last year, I think, at the Video Game Awards, and it had like magic and stuff.
Yeah, it's called
and
like Atlas.
something like that. Yeah.
Atlas something or
So
other.
But,
And it
um,
just looks like Skull and Bones, but better.
I mean, Skull and Bones isn't anything to like be praised over. I'm surprised it's taken a long time. But I mean, that being
They
said,
just scrap it like Taylor says all the time. Just scrap the game.
Yeah.
just scrap it. It's a game I do want to try. Like, I do want to get my pirate ship, and I do want to get into like a team deathmatch with like 4 other teammates and just fucking go
You're
Blackbeard
gonna
on their
spend 80
ass.
bones on
their
that?
ass.
What's
You
that?
gonna spend 80 bones on that?
Not 80 of my bones, so
So you're gonna steal
Steal
someone?
bones.
rob
Yeah.
some graves.
Here are
Wow.
some games that are not announced
That's
for
a fucking
2020, but we
amazing
know
game.
exist. I think these are kind of just like a yes or no. Do you think it's coming out this year? Yes or no? If it is yes, when do you think it's coming out? Deathloop. What do you guys think?
Yes.
Yes, let's say fall.
Yeah, I think it's that fall
Yeah.
Yeah,
arcane
good
game slot. They're gonna announce it at the E3 press conference. I'm gonna drool a significant amount. I'm gonna love this game. It's gonna be my game of the year. That's my prediction.
It's gonna be
Starfield.
No.
You gotta.
I
That's
got a
that was
buzzer.
easy
I got a
button.
buzzer, yeah.
Not coming out this year.
no, I don't think so.
Next
I
gen
think,
console, I
I
guess.
think February, March of 2021.
Okay.
That's a good date.
New
I like
consoles.
that. I like that. And
That's
then
smart.
they hit with Elder Scrolls in the fall, and they just
That was my next one. Elder Scrolls 6.
No.
Absolutely not. I don't
No.
think that game's coming out until at the very least 2023.
Yeah.
Unless they make a big disheartening announcement that's been a mobile game this whole time. That's
God, I would
Uh,
chop my face
Yeah,
off.
I don't even think it's gonna be at E3 if Bethesda's there.
No, I don't think so either.
They're showing off their other stuff, so yeah.
Yeah, I think between Deathloop and Starfield, they have enough like
Yeah.
big hitters to show. Ghostwire Tokyo. Is that the full title? That's all I wrote.
Did you say Ghost Rider?
Ghost
Rider
Ghost Rider
I mean, I'll
Tokyo.
go.
We had a discussion about this game recently.
Yeah,
and
with the
I maybe
developer like
shed
jumping ship.
some disappointment on it. But do you think
That's-
it's coming out this year,
That's what I'm saying. No.
or did it get delayed because of that?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. I think Kirklin had a good date with the last game as far as like early 2021. I could see this being.
Yeah.
Do you think
that.
we'll see it at the conference this
Yeah,
year?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe even just some more teaser just to know it's around. If you don't see it at the
That's
conference,
worrying. Yeah.
then it's Days Gone, and it's like, oh,
It's
they're
Days
hiding it. And it's like, why the game's out in a
That's
month and you're not at E3? Not great sign. So, yeah, I don't think this year, but I think we'll see it at some point.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that.
Elden Ring.
Oh.
This is the From
Yeah.
Software game. Their next game after Sekiro. The team up with George R.R. Martin.
When did this game officially? Like, when has it been in production? How long?
Well, we heard about it
Was
at
that the Game
E3.
Awards?
Th-
Oh, no,
just this
E3.
one, right?
Yeah, but there was rumors of it like a little bit before that. I mean, I imagine it's been in development since the end of Sekiro,
Which
so
was.
Sekiro came out this in 2019.
So I'm gonna know.
I'll say no.
I would say almost
Yeah.
certainly not.
Spring 2021. Boom.
Because I think even then Sekiro 2019, their most recent game before that was 2016 with Dark Souls 3. So yeah, 3 years. Yeah, no way that game's coming out. Babylon's Fall. If you guys don't remember this, that's the next game from the team that made Nier Automata. It's their next next game.
Cool.
We've seen gameplay for it, so it could come out this year.
I'll go with a yes because I've said no a lot. We got some gameplay. Why not?
Sure. Yeah, I'm very undecisive on my answer,
That's
but
fair.
I'll just say sure.
Big one, Breath of the Wild 2.
No.
No.
One more year of hype.
Do you think we'll see anything from? Oh no, Nintendo probably wouldn't be at E3. They'd probably just do their own directs, right?
Well, yeah, but I'd consider that being at E3
Okay.
because they announce a game and then they have like here's people
Yeah.
playing it on the show floor.
I'm gonna say no.
Taylor, you gonna chime in on any of these or just let us all go?
These
Most
are
of
rapid
these games
fire,
are
so
just
we're
yes
not
or
coming
no.
back
They're
to
just
you.
yes or no.
Breath of the Wild.
Does it
So
come out
like
next year?
This year.
2021. Or
2020.
It's this year, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I think so. I think they'll come out at the very end of the
Yeah,
year.
I could see that too actually. Metroid Prime 4.
Not at all.
Yeah,
At
I
least
didn't,
another
didn't
5
think so.
years.
Didn't they scrap that game?
They did.
They
They're
did,
rebuilding it. Yeah.
and that was the start of 2019. So yeah, that's not gonna happen. Weird West. This was from the some of the developers from Dishonored and Prey, who they split off
Oh right.
after Prey, and they made this game. It was at the Game Awards. Looks cool. I could see it coming out this year.
I'm gonna say no.
It's a smaller style game, so maybe.
I think they're gonna build hype for a bit, maybe early 2021.
Sure.
I'll
That's
say
fair.
yes.
But that I guess it depends with Deathloop. Who knows? Well, we all said Deathloop was coming out this year. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I think. Deathloop, and because didn't
Yeah.
Prey come out like February, Marchish?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah.
so.
I feel confident with
yeah.
that early 2021.
Yeah. Overwatch 2.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
I think it is this year.
Yeah.
Later this year.
I think like around
Summer?
the console drops, like November.
I have
or
no
something.
idea what time of year Overwatch came out.
I wouldn't even put it like console drops. I think primarily they're looking at the PC market. So I feel
It
like
was pretty popular in consoles though.
it is, but I think it's
was
always
first
had-
on PC
it's
though, wasn't it?
First on PC.
Yeah.
I think Blizzard kind of like looks at PC first and then like
PC Master Race.
tackles like a console second.
Yeah.
They
So
don't look at the health of their employees. That's one thing they don't look at.
Yeah. And this one is a doozy. Beyond Good and Evil 2.
No,
10
we're never gonna
years.
see that game. I don't think it exists.
You don't think it's
decade.
ever gonna exist?
No, that's a lie. But I think it's gonna come
Is this
out
the
and-
year it's finally gonna happen?
No, they're just gonna ask for more help.
We need more
we
help.
need more.
I'm gonna go with a bold prediction. I think it's coming out this year.
Oh,
It's gonna happen.
Wow. What
2020.
month?
Has to be fall, right? If it comes out, they'd use E3 to pimp it up at UV.
No, they're gonna do something weird. It comes out in August.
The last Guardian treatment.
That's that one. Any more thoughts? Beyond Good and Evil. Come on, I want to hear it from everybody. Who thinks coming out this year?
I've never even heard of
Travis
like,
is
the
a no,
first
I'm a
game
yes.
before.
I'm a no
so
way. I'm 2022. That's what I'm saying.
Holy fuck!
I'm gonna say it's gonna be announced this year and get pushed back, and then
Oh,
get pushed
God.
back again next
Yeah,
year.
okay.
Oh my
A
god!
So it'll
bunch
be
of
like
delays.
summer of 2020.
Someone timestamp.
One.
Someone listening timestamp this. We got to know.
Is it actually being delayed, or is it just a cover story? Like they're putting the month out there, but they know they're gonna.
They
delay
tell the
it.
public it's being delayed.
Yeah, so they're secretly.
Studio is shutting
But it was
down.
never gonna be ready for fall 2020.
Yeah.
They're just like, give them a date, hurry.
Taylor, is it coming out?
I think it's gonna come out 2021 December 25th.
Wow, on
Christmas
Christmas.
Day.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Here's your
They
Christmas
want to
present.
hide this game.
That's
After all the presents, little Jimmy have opened.
That's a wild prediction. All right, we're almost done here. Here's a couple questions I have for you guys. So obviously, Animal Crossing is coming out in March. That's Nintendo's only really big exclusive that's announced. What else do you guys think is coming? You just said no to Breath of the Wild 2. Well, you guys think Breath of the Wild 2. I think as well. I think that is their. Here's their like Xbox and Sony. They're doing their thing. Here's why you're playing Switch when those things come out. Breath of the Wild 2, sequel to best game of the decade.
I think it is a most overrated game of the decade, and I also think it is a Mario-centric type of title, on like an Odyssey, Sunshine, something like that. It's been a
can
little
see
while
that.
since Odyssey. It's been a little while since Mario's had the main stage on
Yeah.
Nintendo. So that's what I think. I think this would have been Metro Prime, but that got in the way.
So you think they don't have something bigger?
Yeah, so that's why I think Mario.
Really? No, they gotta have multiple.
No, but
things.
I mean that was the biggest. That
Okay.
was
Yeah.
the
I shouldn't say
the
they have
smoking
yeah.
gun.
I shouldn't say they have nothing else. They do have Bravely Default 2 and No More Heroes 3, but I think they need like something that says Mario or Fox on
Yeah.
it.
No, Star Fox was in rehab for a while. They botched
so?
that game,
Yeah.
so I'm going with something Mario related, something big.
Or if they just blew your mind and dropped like
Odyssey
Strikers
2.
or something.
Striker.
I
That's
actually
what's
do
gonna
think it
happen.
is plausible that we get us
Yeah.
another sports game or another like
Mario Sports.
yeah, because this year we had like the Mario and Sonic Olympic Games. Not really a big thing. And by this year I mean 2019. My dates are still fucked up.
Yeah.
Before that we had Mario Party, and Mario Tennis in the same year. I want to say. So I think it's time. I think it's time for
I don't
strikers.
think it's this year, but I think it's coming. I think
Yeah.
after that Luigi Mansion team, clearly they can't make one with a good story. So Strikers, you don't.
They had
need
the
Yeah.
Easter egg in there. So.
They've had that and the 3DS version before, so
Yeah.
it's clearly in their minds. People have talked about it, and it always comes up when they announce Sonic and Mario. Everyone's like, "Oh, we've hit all these.
Yeah.
It's time to do that." Or
Right.
Sluggers, But
Yeah,
Strikers is
Sluggers.
the more
I
popular.
don't think is the one. I
No,
think.
no, it's
I mean,
not.
obviously, we're getting more Nintendo characters for. I shouldn't say Nintendo characters. More characters for Smash. What do you guys think about Mario Kart? Are they ever gonna do a new one? Or are they just gonna let this
Oh,
one
yeah.
be
I
the
would
only
love
one?
a new Mario.
Are they
Kart.
doing more like just more DLC?
I
What do you
could
think?
even see Mario Kart being. I don't know if it'll be this one this year, but we'll get another one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the
Next
Switch?
3 years
on the
we'll get
Switch
one.
era.
Yeah, next 3 years.
Okay.
Okay. I'd bite to that. I would say the next 2 to 3. If I'm trying to be
Okay.
specific. I think it's just too early. Like when did 8 come out? Was
Well,
it not last
Wii
year?
U.
It was a Wii U game.
Yeah.
and
Are
then
you
they remastered
serious?
it.
Yeah,
8
remember it's
Deluxe.
remastered
And then-
Deluxe,
And then yeah, the deluxe
Oh.
version included the battle mode and then like Dry Bones and maybe a couple other characters.
New
Oh
maps,
wow!
too, I
I
thought.
forgot
No new,
about that.
no new maps
No?
actually.
Well.
Well, there was battle maps, I guess, if you count those, but there was no new
Oh.
Grand Prix maps.
Wow.
So-
That was definitely in the era of me just boycotting Nintendo and hating it, but now I just love the Switch.
Yeah.
So just total
Now you're in
180.
there.
Now I'm like actually following it.
Give us
That okay,
Ultimate
that is
Alliance 4
interesting.
this
So
year.
I could see actual Mario Kart coming out in the next
That'd be great.
year. So
Yeah. I don't
At
think we'll
least a
get
year.
Mario Party. Yeah, or a Donkey Kong game maybe. Maybe it's time for a new Donkey Kong platformer.
come up more bongos
you're-
for the Switch.
You're pretty on the money with that one because Tropical Freeze was a big hit. I think.
And people like there's a lot of praise from that game is like this is one of the best platformers ever.
Yeah.
So-
I think I would lean more towards Donkey Kong than Mario actually. So I don't
Okay.
think you're wrong with that.
Maybe Mario versus Donkey Kong. That was a banger game on the
That'd
Game
be
Boy
great.
Advance.
Yeah,
If they made that into a fully fledged game,
That-
I'd be so down. That was a sick game.
that would be awesome. I'm on. I just want to see like a new like IP from Nintendo or like the Mario like the Mario like characters. Whether
Remember
it be
the
like
Wonderful 100.
whether no
Whatever that was?
no idea what that
Exactly.
is. I don't know. Maybe just
We
something
could
like,
also get
like
Bayonetta.
a Bowser
I
game.
think Bayonetta 3 this year is like
Oh,
Bayonetta
I see
three.
what you
almost
mean.
Yeah.
almost.
Okay.
an
I think
indiscernible.
meant like new. I'm like
No.
Nintendo's the Disney of gaming. They're
Yeah.
gonna just repurpose all their shit,
Yeah.
keep remaking. Like the way we get new 10 Lion Kings. That's
Yeah.
how we're gonna
Right.
get new Mario
I
Party.
do think we will get Bayonetta 3 this year as well.
Great.
Yeah.
I'll never look at it, but
I can
good for
see
you
it.
Yeah,
fans.
and not for me, but I
Yeah.
think people will play it. Maybe another like one of those Dynasty Warrior games like they did for Zelda and for Fire Emblem. Maybe they pump a new one of those out. Who knows? How about this? Okay, this one's for Taylor specifically. What is the deal with Assassin's Creed Ragnarok? Is that coming out this year? What the fuck is this thing? Does it exist? When's it coming
Was
out?
Taika directing
Is
it?
it on these
What's going on?
consoles? Is it on next gen
He's the main
consoles?
character.
My prediction for Assassin's Creed Ragnarok is we're gonna get this thing, and it's going to come out on old gen and next gen consoles. They're gonna pull a black flag out of their yin yang and throw this our way.
Ah, yeah,
I think
yeah.
there's
That's
a
quite the imagery.
1,000% right there.
Ragnarok is something that's been kind of rumored a lot over the past like 5 years. It's been something that people really want. People want the Viking Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, and they've been
you
on a
know?
hot streak. The last two Assassin's Creed games.
They also
were-
want the fucking
people
Japan
like-
one. but
I
they don't
want the
give us that
Japan one,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, well, the Japan one, you know,
Give me the
it's
Canada one.
Canada one.
Rutland.
I'd
I'm
play
always
Canada
pitching.
Yeah, give me
Rutland.
Assassin's Creed
Rutland.
Rutland. Yeah.
King Rutland.
Play as a hobo or
Oh my god.
You know, it's just right. Japan is definitely a setting that I want to see because they've done it in some other like their
PSPs.
small movies and like the smaller like Assassin's Creed games, the side-scrolling ones they've done like Japan and stuff, and it's just something that I want to see. That being said, Ragnarok would be an amazing setting, and I want to know like okay, how they're gonna work it into the story because I always love how they do that, and a lot of people are not wanting it to be an RPG because I think there's rumors that it will be, and people want it to kind of like not go down that route, but I think stayed more
Well,
true
yeah.
to like
O-
Assassin's Creed.
Odyssey had like RPG elements,
Yeah,
right?
they
You had
were
a
playing
Yeah,
legend
but like
system.
every game is RPG.
But like I
elements.
feel like Odyssey was like very well received for the
It
most
was.
Yeah.
part.
People consider it the best of the series. So
Yeah.
they do.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think it's one of those things
Game
where
of
if
the Year
they
contender.
show it off and how beautiful it
Well,
is, then people just kind of like
For some.
latch onto it. I just think Vikings with how the exploration goes at that time period, there's so much potential, and Odyssey was just it was a fantastic Assassin's Creed game for what you got to do, but it didn't feel like Assassin's Creed anymore. It
Yeah.
felt
Surprised
like
people want that so much. I just think when I hear Assassin's Creed is Viking, the other ones which I've not played, so I'm a bad fan of it. But just like the Egyptian
Bad
times and
fan.
Romans, that
Yeah.
excites me more than Viking. To me, it's like Viking is not anything about sneaking.
it does not do it
around or
for me at
venturing.
all.
No.
Unfortunately.
No, that's just like
I just think of like God of War now.
it just feels like it's gimmicky. Like what have we not else hit? Soon it's gonna be like Assassin's Creed, like Pizza Maker.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be.
Well, you get-
fighting
I'm in a
kinda
weird
like
spot
the
because I
flavors.
was like, what is the ideal Assassin's Creed? It was Egypt. So I already got that, and I didn't
See,
like it that much.
Mine's
so.
still Japan,
still
and I'm
Japan, I
still waiting for
agree.
Japan
that.
for
yeah.
you. Yeah.
It
Weeb
just
over
has
here.
so
What
many.
about space, dude?
I just have so
So
many.
Play as
next
Neil
year.
Armstrong.
That or they do go balls to the wall and do a present day Assassin's Creed, and I think people would think that's lame, but I think there's lots of potential to put that in
Yeah.
present day and see
we've
what would happen.
gotten just minor present day Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
stuff.
I
in
think you could
games,
do
and
lots of fun with
sucks.
it.
Plays Ringo Starr.
It sucked.
It sucks that we don't
Oh, only
get
on
more
mine.
because like there's
Ringo's
yeah,
been an assassin all these years.
there's
How do you think John died?
yeah, he killed John. He framed that other guy.
I'm sorry. The Creed wants us.
there's just so much potential with Assassin's Creed, and that's really the joy of it because they can really go anywhere with it. I just like it's at that point where Odyssey is a great game, but I don't want to say like the Assassin's Creed fatigue is kind of setting in. Like it's fantastic and I love it, but like I wouldn't.
For you or for people?
I think for everyone in general, there's
See, I disagree with that because they took all those breaks, and Odyssey is like considered one of the best series. I think they're back in people's good graces to be a popular title when it drops.
It's a popular title, but again, I don't know if we'll ever get back to what people really want. Like it's just the stories are way too far fetched. I feel like with how they're doing things, and people
I think that's
people
always-
like the original Desmond storyline, like that original like arc that they had made. Now it's too expansive, and again, Odyssey did not feel like an Assassin's Creed game. It felt like you're playing just a
Right.
Roman game with the Spartans. And
I
all
think
that
that's
stuff.
where the reverse is, though. I think because you're in the hardcore, deep Assassin's Creed fans, they're maybe feeling fatigued because they're not enjoying the path. But I think the mainstream's enjoying this path
Yeah.
more. You saying it's far fetched? I don't agree with that because the first game is putting your consciousness into your ancestor to go fight.
No,
Like,
but
it's
the,
already
the,
a far
the sci-
fetched.
No. The
It's like-
scientific approach behind
No,
that. There's a
don't-
lot of very interesting,
All right.
logical.
Don't fucking
points
flat
to it.
earth me
Yeah.
right now. Get out of here.
Take off your tinfoil hat. I think it's the reverse, where I think you may not like it, but it's more. They're trying to make it more
Yeah.
mainstream and get people like a Dylan, like
Yeah.
a Kirk, like
Yeah,
myself,
and
because
it's-
that's more money.
They've done well to distance themselves from the syndicates, the unities
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the series, and I even think the name Ragnarok. It's a great title for a game. Obviously, Thor did well to have that
Yeah.
change as well.
For-
It's
Oh, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, for me personally, I think like I really liked Origins. I felt like that was the perfect blend between Assassin's Creed and just like this Egyptian kind of like RPG element style.
Wait,
game.
Odyssey was the one you played as a girl, right?
Yes.
In
Oh.
Odyssey,
He
do you
didn't,
still
though.
are you
There it
still
For
is.
obvious
going?
There it
reasons.
is. That's what Odyssey was to
I
step
forget the
down.
name of the device that sends you back in time.
Animus.
The Animus. Do they have that in Odyssey? Because in Origins, that's still the story.
Yeah. In Odyssey, it's just they do, but it's really far from that kind of stuff. Like I'm never ever like coming out of like the world of like
It's brief.
Rome
It's
and
not
stuff.
a
It's
main
brief.
thing.
It's-
Which people, again, from the mainstream, everyone's like, fuck this anime stuff. It's so boring. So I know you and your
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed filthies love it, but
Filthy.
the mainstream was always like,
Why do
take
you gotta
this
call
out
them
of the
filthies,
game.
man?
And what about the movie, too? Everyone was like, get this fucking thing out of the movie. All the
The
good
arm-
stuff's the past.
we
So
don't talk about the arm animus.
I think that most people,
That's what I picture as the Animus.
most
Fucking giant
non-hardcores,
arm.
kind of looks like Emperor, the way he was in
Yeah.
that machine.
Fuck
Yeah,
the Emperor.
probably.
Spoilers though. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's in the trailer.
Not the trailer I saw.
Assassin's Creed is interesting because I like the first couple that came out, I was totally obsessed with that Desmond like arc, and then like coming out of the Animus, I really liked it because you found out just more stuff that's going on like in the modern day times, I guess, and the Templars that are running like Abstergo, but it's weird because obviously I took a long break like from the Assassin's Creed. I don't know. I feel like they're just coming out too often, and
Yeah.
just whatever happened, I took a long break. But like jumping back into Odyssey, it was totally just like a fresh taste. I don't even remember how that game started, so I didn't actually remember there was an Animus or anything. I thought you just started like in the ancient times. So, and I loved it. I thought it was phenomenal. But like the thing with Assassin's Creed, it's so I don't know. It's such a big like title that I feel like they should be trying to expand into other areas, like what you mentioned, like a modern day time. That's something so different that we've never seen before, because it's always just hand to hand combat. Although like there are some like gimmicky rifles and stuff, and then you get like Assassin's Creed 3 where it's like the whatever era that was, basically like the start of America.
I feel like
and
if you
stuff
go
like
to,
that.
I don't know, I think if you go to like today's day, then you're just blurring the lines between Watch Dogs. Like I know they're different games, but I still feel like that's too much of the same from Ubisoft.
Oh, see, I don't think so.
I don't
because
think
there's so
so,
much
yeah.
murder in Assassin's Creed, especially Watch Dogs 2 is all about like don't kill anybody.
Yeah,
like,
but then you have
fun.
like Hitman. Like I think that's what makes Assassin's Creed unique is that, like obviously the story allows you to go back to these places, and then there is too much. I don't want to say too much, but there is already a ton of games where you're doing that in today's
There is.
age,
It's just because they, I think, finally get that payoff of always going in the back. What if you were in the future? And I think there is enough people that would be worried about it, but I think that would intrigue people to be like, okay, what could they do? Because it could completely bomb and just be like any other game. But I think it would get a level of intrigue to be like, okay, what are they doing here? Like, why did they make it present day? You know? So
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just optimistic, but I feel like Assassin's Creed, they do get some flack on like repetitivity. I just made up a word, but I don't know. I feel like they do a lot of good things like well, and whether some people might see it as like, I don't know, they got their Hitman's games that are like a modern assassin. I feel like Assassin's Creed, they do something unique and like that's to their IP that they could pull it off. Again, I could just be optimistic. They could do that and just bomb, and I don't know, but I don't know. I just feel like there's potential in them like breaking the lines of doing what they've done so many times, and I don't know. I just feel like it's such an important IP, and they just keep pumping out like games, and they've like, how many games are there Assassins? Like 20 games?
Like let's discount the the
Yeah. So Assassin's Creed 1, 2,
might be with
then we
handhelds.
got Brotherhood, Revelations, Assassin's Creed 3, and then we have Assassin's Creed Black Flag, so that's 6. And then we have Assassin's Creed Rogue, and then we have Assassin's Creed Unity, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Assassin's Creed.
So yeah, like over 10 games, like easily.
Assassin's
you
Creed
said 20.
Odyssey.
Don't walk it back.
So around,
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
The way you count, did you count that weird, or is Assassin's
that's
Creed?
the order.
Is this no?
I counted it in the order.
I'm
of
not saying it's not.
games.
I'm just.
Oh, okay.
Jeez Louise. Is Assassin's Creed 3 the 5th game in the series?
1, 2, Brotherhood. Yeah.
Just I don't know. I was
Yeah.
just
Funny,
they,
funny
they,
observation.
They
It's just
continued
silly.
like.
It's like Bravely Default 2, which is the 3rd game in the series.
Well, the 3 is kind of like wrapping up the story of Desmond, because you have like 2 Brotherhood and Revelations, which is all focusing on one assassin, obviously, in his journey, and that's where people like they were at their like prime.
Yeah.
They were at
Assassin's
their
Creed
prime.
2.
But like the thing with like an IP like Assassin's Creed compared to like something like Halo. Halo, you know exactly what you're getting. Obviously, there's been over 10 Halo, or has there been? I'm just pulling numbers out of my
Don't
head.
count.
Let's just say,
Come on.
don't
I'm
count.
counting in my
Let's
head.
just say there's a shit ton of Halo games, but you know exactly what you're getting in. You're getting a gun and you're getting aliens and you're shooting shit. Whereas Assassin's Creed, I feel like they just have the potential to do something totally different. And although you could release a fucking like collab Star Wars Assassin's Creed game where you're literally just like, I don't know, just something race like
Don't
doing
do that,
Assassins.
Kathy. Don't do that.
But like they could, like they have potential to do that, and I don't know why they're not. I don't know. It's just some is sitting with me that I feel like they should totally do that. I don't know.
I like the Kirklin take on
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed.
Did you say 10 Halo games? Or 11? You said 10. You're
said
fucking
10.
right.
Was I right?
You're
Okay.
fucking
Yeah.
right. On
Okay.
point.
Cool. I thought that was overshooting. Honestly.
No, you're fucking set.
Okay. Cool.
Fucking set,
I'm awesome.
bro.
Dude, bro.
That's all the Assassin's Creed stuff I want to talk
The
about.
last kind of question I have for you guys should be a bit quicker, but do you guys think that there's going to be any big plays from Google Stadia this
Nope.
year?
Nope.
You play plus.
Any big surprising
Yeah,
like
you play plus
partnerships or acquisitions, or just are they just going to kind of?
Is that already out? Is
Yep.
Stadia? Okay.
It is
I've
fully
never seen
released.
it
It
in
is
a
not in
store.
beta. It is a fully released product.
I see trailers for it and stuff. And I'm like, man, when is that coming out? But I guess it's already out.
It's out.
I don't have that much interest in it. That's just like the streaming thing, right? And you can play it on your phone.
Pretty much. But
Yeah.
it's super limited right now. Like
Yeah.
all the features they've promised are like not in it right now. So it's essentially a beta, but they've released it as a full thing. So it's just bad marketing
Yeah.
overall.
I don't know. I feel like it's
But-
gonna do really bad, and then they're gonna try and do
They
something
also
big.
kind of sucked because they're supposed to have Doom Eternal like at launch as like a big game for them, but then Doom Eternal got pushed back. So it kind of sucks for them.
Yeah, no, I think they're kind of scorched earth right now. They just need to refix their image, and I don't think people want to partner with them.
Just
So.
build that foundation throughout 2020. And
Yeah.
They are the ones I'm confident who janked away Uplay Plus from the rest of us
Janked
console
away.
gamers, and I was just
Lost
mean.
my money, Ubisoft.
Yeah, I would have been all over that. I would have been like slobbering all over Uplay Plus. But yeah, those. I don't know. Google Stadia is not anything
Use
to
the saliva,
brag
it
about.
makes it
Like,
smoother.
don't get me wrong. I love Google. I think Google is up to good things, and you know.
Wow, that sounds shady as fuck.
I like to be on the inside of Google, and it's that sounds really weird actually.
Slobbering
But,
all over Google on the inside.
You know, you can't just because you're a big high up company, you can't just say let's make a game console and just jump right in, ladies and gentlemen. You know, game consoles have to have that nostalgia and that long kind of like building of like decades relationships, you know, with like the older folks and then their kids and then like our kids and stuff. And you know, they can't just pop in. It's like Feige saying like, "Oh, we're going to build a Avengers video game console," and just popping it out there. Maybe it would do good in some cases, but it wouldn't like wouldn't solidify, you know, up there against like a PlayStation and stuff like that.
That's a wild take on Google Stadia. I don't even know. There's so many ways I could respond to that, but I think I won't because that could be a longer conversation. But I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. I think they're in a weird spot. I think they've fucked up their launch big time. I mean, Google has a ton of money, so they have the resources to stick it out and make it into a good thing. I am super curious what they do. I wonder if they're gonna acquire some studios. I wonder if they're gonna like get all those promised features out by 2020, by the end of 2020.
Doubt it.
I wonder if they're gonna have some big like, hey, here's our maybe not 2.0, but here's like something big to contest with the other big consoles that are launching in fall. I'm not sure, but I'm really curious to see what they do. Like, I'm even curious where they do this stuff. Like, does Google Stadia have an E3 conference? Do they have like their own State of Play Direct style thing?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think they need to because I've also, from what I've heard, it's like the communication is not great on their end from talking to people who've already bought into the product and like, here's what's new, here's what's changing. Like, stuff will just drop and like people are like, oh, that's new. Why didn't they announce that? It's a big thing for them. So they're just really weird. I don't know what the fuck.
That is
doing.
weird.
The only cool thing that I'll give it to Google right now is I guess they partner with Xbox to a certain degree because you can connect Xbox to your Google Home and it makes your Xbox voice command, which is kind of cool. So I think that's kind of neat. But again, why I don't know. Focus on your own console, I guess, because there's no way I'm ever going to use that. I don't want to voice control my console, but
Right.
yeah, Stadia is just kind of.
Yeah, like if I'm getting anything, I'm getting xCloud. xCloud's in a much better spot. But I mean, xCloud is also smart because they're like, hey, we're a beta. Like, we're not a finished product. So I think that about does it for 2020 preview.
2020.
Did I miss anything, guys? I was trying to be as thorough as possible. Did I miss any games?
An immaculate job. Good job, Dylan.
Sweet.
I do want to shout out one game, Stronghold Warlords. This is a long-running RTS.
Stronghold?
Yeah, Stronghold.
I remember Stronghold.
Remember Stronghold? Yeah, they
Yeah, I
have a
remember
new
that
one
it
coming
didn't
out.
run on my computer as a kid, but it would run for like 10, 15 minutes at a time. And I would just like be going in. I'd try to get as much done as I could before the game would
yeah.
crash inevitably.
Yeah.
So good times.
I've clocked so many hours, and I still play it to this day with my friends online. We're playing the original Stronghold on
Yeah.
Steam. It's great, and they've had so many different editions. And yeah, Stronghold Warlords is coming out, and it's like Chinese and stuff like that theme. So I'm super
Right.
excited to pop into
Your
it.
heritage. Nice.
2020.
I wanted
stuff.
to shout out Age of Empires 4. It doesn't have a set release date, but this was like probably the first video game I ever played. So I just wanted to shout it out. Me and my dad have good history playing this. It's an RTS game. I'm sure if everyone's heard of it.
Oh, I played
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
it's a
So it was rumored 2020, probably around November, but
Yeah.
could be pushed back. Who knows? But I'm definitely gonna be following that. And
Sweet.
Hopefully it's awesome.
Hopefully it is. I'd be down to check that out. It's a classic.
Oh yeah.
Were you against your dad or partners? With
Against. Oh, you
allies?
fucked me up big time. Yeah. No mercy.
Ooh, No
Nice.
mercy.
Yeah.
Way to go, Pops.
The best way to learn is by fail, right? Repetitive
Exactly.
fail.
Just fucking lay you out to dry.
Taylor's getting antsy. Anything
It's
else,
dinner time.
boys?
No.
Nope.
Is that all of it?
2020. It's gonna be a great year.
I hope so.
Best year yet.
Best year yet.
I didn't say it, so it's not a Kirklin told you so.
There you go.
I'm standing by my 2019 one.
Taylor, where can they find us?
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find us. Also, check out Movie of the Week, Shazam, with your internet connection in the search bar, ladies and gentlemen.
We didn't pick that movie. Taylor did.
A surefire crowd pleaser, says the back of the case.
Sure, fire. Geek for Space podcast on Facebook. Stay tuned. Lots of good stuff.
Excellent.
Video, that was a hot ending. Video and audio feeds are all down below in the subscription. If you like what we do here, please leave a review, subscribe, like, follow us all because, 2020, we got lots of good stuff. We're going to cover lots of these games we talked about. We have a 2020 movie preview that's going to drop. So thank you very much for tuning in. when you hear from us next. It will not be boring.
Later, friends.
Ciao for now.
Ciao.